program. Joining Coach Cathy on the field.
Officially week 2 of the 2018 Cape Cod Baseball League summer as the Y-D Red Sox travel to Stony Brook Field to take on the Brewster Whitecaps, the first of 6 meetings to come here in 2018. Dana Gray and TJ Mathewson right here in Brewster, Massachusetts on a picture-perfect day for baseball. The Red Sox 2-4-1, the Whitecaps 2-4, and both of these teams riding 3-game losing streaks, so something's got to give today, TJ.
Yeah, for the Red Sox, you're just happy to see Sunday be over. Both these teams being swept on their first doubleheader of the weekend last Sunday. Y-D at Cotuit. 16 combined runs given up by the Y-D pitching staff, 11 walks issued. That's just not who they are. And also, to start this first week of the season, only 6 for 14 on stolen bases. Not a very efficient mark, and you want to get off to a better start this week than how the last week ended.
Just a couple of minutes away from first pitch. The lineup for the Red Sox go as such. Zach Ashford leads things off out in center field. Quinn Cotton batting second out in right. The first baseman, Andrew Doshbach, bats third. Andrew Martinez in the cleanup spot at fourth. Playing shortstop, Matt Dyer. He'll bat fifth, doing the catching duties. Left fielder, Brett Beasley, bats sixth. Gabe Matthews in the 7-hole, the designated hitter this afternoon. Nick Quintana going 8th and playing third base over at the hot corner. And Christian Koss rounding out the order at second base. And the man they will be facing today for the Whitecaps, Chris Mockemer, a returner to this squad. Pitched in 3 games last year for Brewster. Record of 2-0, a sub 1.5 ERA, just over 6 innings pitched, but he's no stranger to Stony Brook Field, looking to get his team back to its winning ways after they dropped both games in the doubleheader against Hyannis. As TJ mentioned, Red Sox also dropping both games over at Lowell Park in Cotuit. The fielding alignments for the Whitecaps this afternoon. In the outfield, Christian Molfetta, Hunter Bishop out in center, Brandon Wolf, he's out in right field, and left to right across the infield goes Austin Lively. Cam Eden, the shortstop. Mike Massey is at second base, and Chris Wright over at first. John Donovan doing the catching for Mockemer, who's just wrapping up another great campaign with the Kentucky Wildcats, leading the team in ERA at 3.06 in 23 appearances. Impressive stuff from the righty out of North Canton, Ohio. Zach Ashford waiting for his first swings against the right-hander. First appearance of 2018 for Mockemer after the 3 back in 2017. So the Red Sox sit in third place of the East Division. Whitecaps sitting in the bottom at 5th, but a lot can change just in one day of baseball.
Yeah, especially you're going to want to see the Y-D pitching staff get back on track. After 1 week, their ERA currently sitting at a hair over 4, 6.04, nearly 3 runs higher than what they finished with last season.
And Zach Ashford will dig in to get us going. First pitch just about to come at about 5:02 on the East Coast. Thanks so much for tuning in, spending part of your Tuesday afternoon with us. It's picture perfect in Brewster, Mass. Mockemer, the righty, readying the first offering to the lefty Ashford. Here it comes. He shows bunt and goes foul down the third base line. A one-hopper that trickles to the left of the line. Just goes as a strike. Ashford obviously bunting for a single there. Is Pickler not afraid to do anything in the early going?
Well, Lively not playing too shallow over there at third base. And now with that bunt attempt by Ashford, going to bring him in a little bit. That'll open up some holes on the infield.
Mockemer, 6'1", 210 on the bump. Finishing up his junior campaign at the University of Kentucky in his second season wearing a Whitecaps uniform. Righty working from the windup, 0-1 to Ashford, taken low. That called by the home plate umpire, Bel DePonte. First baseman, Steve Durantz. And Bob Gardner, third base umpire, the crew today for game number 8 for the Y-D Red Sox, 7 for the Whitecaps. No score in the top of the first, 1-1 to Ashford. At a called strike, a fastball connecting away. Ball at 2 strikes on the leadoff man. Ashford getting action in both of the doubleheader games against Cotuit. Went 2 for 5 combined. Base hits were hard to come by for the Red Sox over at Lowell Park on Father's Day. Mockemer into the motion, delivers the 1-2 hard grounder over to third. Lively up with it, fires a strike across the diamond to record the first out of the inning.
Just a fastball Left out on the outside corner. Ashford can't really get out around on it. Just hits it right to Lively at third. A routine play for the first out.
Number 27, the right fielder from Grand.
Quinn Cotton batting second this afternoon. The right fielder, Grand Canyon product. Got his first game of rest. Can't say day of rest. He was in game one of the doubleheader. Went 2 for 4. He'll dig into the righty's batter's box. No one on base, 1 out in the top of the first inning. No score between the Red Sox and the Whitecaps. Mockmer deals strike 1 right down the middle.
Well, Cotton and Ashford, 2 of the guys atop this lineup. Both of them been here throughout the first week of the season.
Mockmer getting the signs from Donovan behind the dish. They agree. And the 0-1. Painting the outside corner for a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Cotton. He'll have to protect. 1 out, bases empty, no score from Stony Brook. First of 6 meetings between these two. 0-2 off speed, dips away. Cotton lays off of it, ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that's a tough pitch to lay off of. Starts elevated at the belt level and then drops just below the strike zone on the outside corner.
One-two offering, cut and a miss, strike 3, blows the fastball past the right fielder for the Red Sox, and there's 2 away.
You hear the oomph from McNamara on the mound after that fastball. Just blows it right past Quinn Cotton. Just can't get the bat head around, looking for an off-speed pitch right there and didn't get it.
So 2 away, no one on base in the top of the first. Andrew Dashback getting his first look against Mockmer. 2 for 5, saw action in both doubleheader games. 3 for 9 so far in a Red Sox uniform. Mockmer from the windup. First pitch, off speed away. 1-0 and count on the Stanford Cardinal. Three hits, 2 runs batted in for Dashbach. And the 1-0 pitch from Mockmer, cut on and fouled high out of play. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike.
Well, you mentioned the 3 hits for Dashbach. We haven't really seen him absolutely barrel up a ball and show off that prodigious power he showed this spring at Sanford with 17 home runs.
63 runs batted in as well, leading the Cardinal in both of those categories. We know he's got some pop. Wind gusting from left to right across the infield. So maybe an opportunity to go opposite field in a day like this, at least for the right-handed hitters.
Yeah, Dashbach, if he's going to hit one out to left field, he's got to get all of it. It's a firm wind coming out of left field.
2 away in the first. Mockmer into the motions, delivers the 1-1 fastball, missing at the shoelaces. Favorable count here for Andrew. Mentioned the 2 hits on Sunday against the Kettleers. An afternoon that was just a whole world of trouble. Game 1, Y-D falling on a walk-off, and then just blown out of the water in Game 2. 2-1 pitch, fastball bounces a good foot in front of the pit. 3-1 the count. No one on base and 2 away. No score between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. Both these teams riding 3-game losing streaks. Y-D at one point was 1-1-1. Whitecaps were 1-1. Each have lost 3 straight. 3-1 pitch, hit hard, but just trickles foul down the third base line. That's just a foot to the right. It would have gotten past the third baseman Lively and probably gone for extra bases.
Yeah, well, now Lively's out there guarding the line at third. That Dashbach on that fastball right there, just a hair early on it.
So the count will be pushed full with 2 away. Mockmer working here in the first inning. Just 13 tosses so far. This is about to be pitch number 14. And the 6th of the at-bat to Dashbach. Ashford grounding out to third to start the game. And then Quinn Cotton, a strikeout victim, following suit. Andrew Martinez stands on deck should he be needed in the frame. Payoff pitch to Dashbach is just fisted a couple feet. Fielded by Mockmer, toss over to first, and the Red Sox go 1-2-3 to start off the ball game. First licks for the Whitecaps coming after the break. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. A divine Tuesday afternoon in Brewster, Massachusetts. Tons of sunshine and not a cloud in the sky as we head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. Alec Marsh on the bump for Y-D, making his 4th appearance already here in Game 8, but he'll get his first start. The ASU product and the Whitecaps lineup that he will face goes as such. Leading things off, the third baseman, Austin Lively. Mike Massey bats second. Connor Gramis, the third, goes DH. And Hunter Bishop, the cleanup hitter, the center fielder, he'll bat fourth. Brandon Wolf batting fifth, the right fielder. Out and left, Christian Molfetta bats sixth. Cam Eden in the 7th slot, the shortstop this afternoon, Chris Wright, he'll bat 8th. And Joe Donovan rounding out the order and doing the catching duties this afternoon. So the Red Sox go 1-2-3. In the top of the first, Alec Marsh looking for a similar result here against the Whitecaps.
Yeah, Marsh, usually a starter at Arizona State. 15 games appeared in this season, 12 of them as starts. At ERA under 4 at 3.89 through 71 2/3 innings, 64 strikeouts across just 31 walks. We've seen him in a couple of appearances. We saw him on Sunday in Katuitt, gave up the walk-off single to Katuitt in Game 1 of that series, but besides that, he has been superb out of the bullpen so far, and we're going to see how he does in something where he's comfortable in starting a baseball game.
Most recently, you mentioned the 2/3 innings against Katuitt. Also pitched 2 against Chatham in that tie. And also recorded a couple outs on opening day in the Y-D walk-off win. Austin Lively will dig in from the left side, facing the righty Marsh in the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Red Sox and the Whitecaps. Lively out at third base today, awaiting the first offering from Marsh. It misses high and away with a fastball. These two teams met up in the first round of the Eastern Division semifinals last August. The Whitecaps going all the way to the 2017 championship. 1-0, a grounder right back at Marsh. He'll fields it underhand over to Dashbach, and just like that, there's one away.
Marsh, that one just somehow just found his glove right there. Didn't have to move very much to get that one. Easy underhand flip to Dashbach for out number 1.
One away, no one on base in the bottom of the first. Mike Massey to dig in against Marsh. So he just goes 2 pitches to record the first out of the inning. Massey, a left-handed hitter as well. Marsh connecting with a strike right down the middle to start off the at-bat to the Whitecaps second baseman. Batting .600 through 10 at-bats. Seeing action in 3 of the Brewster contests. 0-1 from Marsh is hit hard on the ground to first base. Dashbach calls off Marsh, and he'll take it himself for the second out of the inning.
That time a fastball just running in on Massey, and nothing he can do there. Just roll it on over to first. Can't get the barrel to it, and 2 quick outs.
So 3 pitches and 2 outs. Lively and Massey retired via ground balls. Connor Gramis now the designated hitter. First right-hander that Marsh will face. Early on with 2 away, bases empty, no score. First offering taken high at the chin level. Connor backing out away from it. 1 ball and no strikes. Marsh, the righty from the windup, deals this one high as well. Graham is ducking away for the second straight time, and it's 2-0. Two-0 pitch, grounded foul towards the Whitecaps dugout. 2-1 the count. Mentioned the first series win for Brewster over Y-D in August. 2-1 after Y-D scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning in Game 1. Whitecaps came crawling back, 2-1, grounded foul to the dugout as well. Had a Carlos Cortez 3-run dinger to walk things off in Game 1. And the Whitecaps rattled off 2 straight en route to the 2017 championship. 2-2 count on Gramis. Here's the pitch. Off speed, paints the outside corner, strike 3. Marsh picks up his first strikeout, and he sends him down in order in the first. We go to the top of the second. No score from Stony Brook Field. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Four, five, six, 2 up for the Red Sox in the top of the second inning. No score between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. Chris Mockmer back out for inning number 2 of work, facing Martinez, Dyer, and Beasley. Matthews to plate as well, if anyone can reach.
Andrew Martinez.
Both starters getting a perfect 1-2-3 inning back in the first. Marsh striking out Gramis to end the first inning. Got him looking, and now Martinez digs in the top of the second. Mockmer from the windup. First pitch of the second inning. Fastball. A lot of pace on it. Right down the middle. Called strike. Gets ahead of Martinez early on. Just his 5th plate appearance of the summer. Playing in his 3rd game. Went 0 for 4 in the doubleheader games. 0-1 to Martinez. That nicked him. Right on the hand, it looked like. Not a painful one, but an easy hit by pitch. And the Red Sox have the first base runner of the ball game.
Yeah, and he looked right back to home plate umpire Bob DuPont and motioned like, yeah, I got hit. And he agreed with them. Red Sox, the leadoff base runner here in the second.
So Martinez now on first base. And Matt Dyer to dig in with no outs in the top of the second. Catcher for the Red Sox that's been around the fielding alignment throughout the season. Kind of a jack of all trades, doing the catching duties today. First pitch to Dyer. He'll take it for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Batting .357 for Y-D. Through 5 games, 5 hits, 2 runs batted in. Righty on righty matchup in the 0-1. Fastball called strike as well. Quickly 2-0 on Dyer. No hits so far for either club, but Martinez a slight lead off of first. He was plunked by a pitch to start off the second inning. Time called by the home plate umpire. Dyer will take a step out, dig back in the away Y-D red jerseys. Blue lettering, white pants, red cleats. Whitecaps in their home whites with the teal sleeves and lettering. 0-2 from Mockmer. Fastball outside. A good pitch, though. Catcher Joe Donovan pointing back at his hurler, saying that's pretty good pitch, especially when you're out in front of a count. Dyer not offering. No outs in the second. Martinez off of first. And the 1-2 delivery to Dyer off speed. tried to check his swing. They'll appeal over to third. Bob Gardner says no, he did not. Dyer has new life, and the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Donovan behind the plate thought the call was originally going to be a strike, and then on the check swing, we have a pretty good view from where we're sitting just off to the right of home plate. Did not look like Matt went around.
Mockmer's 2-2 pitch is grounded softly over to third. Lively up with it. Only play is over to first with Martinez off on the pitch. Red Sox get a runner in scoring position on the fielder's choice, and there's 1 away. So Martinez to second. Dyer retired, the first out of the inning, and Brad Beasley will dig in.
20 from Cal.
Hit a moonshot.
Here's the left fielder, Brad Beasley.
Back on Sunday. Digs in from the right side. Martinez, hefty lead off of second base. 1 out, no score between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. Mockmer glances back at second. Now delivers home with a fastball, nabs the outside corner. 0-1 on Beasley, the Cal Poly product.
Had a really good doubleheader on Sunday. 3 for 6 with that home run, 2 RBIs.
Over the left field fence at Lowell Park. Just one of the few extra base hits that the Y-D squad could record on Father's Day. Mockmer will step off. Y-D looking to open things up here in the second inning. 1 away, Martinez off of second. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Fastball dips a little bit low. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike on the left fielder for the Red Sox. This is the first of 5 games getting underway across the Cape this afternoon. A few 6 o'clock starts to come in a little bit. 1-1 pitch, cut on and miss. Strike 2. Beasley falls behind in the count. No lights here at Stony Brook Field, just like at Red Wilson. Calls for the 5 o'clock starts. We already saw 1 tie last week. Just took 2 games at Red Wilson. A tie against the Anglers due to the lights. 1-2 off speed away. Beasley lays off of it and moves the count to 2-2. Couple of goose eggs on the scoreboard out in left center field. 2-2 count, 1 away. Runner on second for the Red Sox, working against the righty from Kentucky. Mockmer holds the ball in his black glove, looks at third, now glances back at second, and delivers. Fastball high, right at the eyes, and Beasley has pushed the count full. Looks over at Scott Pickler, the third base coach for the Red Sox, getting the correct signs as Beasley is off of second. Payoff pitch is lifted out into right field. Moving over to his right is Wolf, and he makes the grab for the second out of the inning. Tagging and going second to third is Martinez. So now 90 feet away from scoring the first run, but there's 2 away.
That's a good productive out for Brad Beasley. The ball got in on him, but still able to elevate it and get it out deep enough into right field to allow Martinez to scamper over to third. And here's Gabe Matthews, a chance to check in with an RBI and put Y-D on the board.
Just his 3rd plate appearance of the summer. Seen action in 2 games, 1 hit, and 1 RBI. That second one is waiting 90 feet away over at third base, and Andrew Martinez. First pitch to Matthews, misses away to the lefty. So Martinez nicked by a pitch to start off the second. Dyer grounding out in a fielder's choice. That moved Martinez to second base, and Beasley has advanced him to third on the fly out to right. 1-0 to Matthews, checks his swing. He'll appeal down the third base line. He did not go. A favorable count here for Gabe, 2-0. Batted .265 for the Ducks in his sophomore campaign this past spring. 6-2 in the lefty's batter's box. 2-0 pitch, fastball low. 3-0 the count on Matthews with Quintana standing on deck. 2 away in the top of the second. Still no score between Y-D and Brewster. First of 6 meetings to come in the regular season. 3 here at Stony Brook. 3 back at Red Wilson. 3-0 delivery. Low ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued to Gabe Matthews. Runners on the corners for the Red Sox in the top of the second. And Nick Quintana coming to the plate.
Well, it's a big opportunity for a guy, Nick Quintana, who's really struggled here throughout the first week. And can make up for all that with a huge base hit right here.
He sure has. This is about to be his 20th plate appearance. 105 clip. Struck out 9 times. Almost 50% of the opportunities that he's in that box, he's struck out, but runners on the corners with 2 away. First offering to Quintana outside. Good eye from the third baseman for the Red Sox. Struggled mightily during last summer with Y-D, especially with the strikeouts. Worked out some kinks, though, and turned into a real good hitter towards the end of July. 1-0 Quintana. He flies it out to right field. Wolf ranging to his left. He camps under it, and he'll make the grab to retire this side. The Red Sox strand a pair. Still no score from Stony Brook. We go to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Home half of the second inning in Brewster, Massachusetts. No score between the Red Sox and the Whitecaps. Alec Marsh sent him down in order in the first, retiring Lively, Massey, and Gramis. A strikeout to end the first inning, and now it will be 4-5-6. Hunter Bishop to lead things off. One of the returners to this Brewster squad, just a handful coming back from that championship team last summer. Bishop so far a .214 hitter. Facing Marsh. Initial offering upstairs and away. So Alec Marsh just took a few pitches to get through that first inning. Really efficient. And it's Arizona State versus Arizona State on the bump and at the plate. 1-0 off speed. That nabs the strike zone to even the count up at 1-1. So maybe a bit of an advantage here. Is an advantage for Bishop or for Marsh, either having known maybe their tendencies back at school. 1-1 to Bishop is roped into right field for a base hit. The first single of the ball game. Bishop trying to stretch it into 2. Throw down to second, and they got him by a mile. Tag applied by Martinez. A cannon from right from Quinn Cotton. And just like that, Bishop retired after making great contact.
Yeah, you can see Bishop talking to himself after that. He's not happy that he got thrown out there at second base. You're right, Dana. He was out by quite a bit. A good throw over there by Quinn Cotton. We mentioned an above-average arm over there in right field. Bishop just a bit too aggressive there.
So one away for Brandon Wolf, right-hander. Takes a strike to start off the at-bat. 2 hits so far through 8 plate appearances for the Whitecaps. Junior from Stanford. Marsh from the windup. 0-1 delivery. That tucks inside and evens the count up at 1-1. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless from Stony Brook Field. Marsh back on the bump. Ready's the 1-1 pitch. Fisted foul over the Red Sox dugout on the right side. Ball and 2 strikes. Molfetta stands on deck. Eden to follow if necessary here in the second. Marsh has retired the first 4. 1-2 to Wolf. Wave and a miss. Strike 3. Victim number 2 for Alec Marsh. 1 looking, 1 swinging, and there's 2 away in the second.
Oh, Marsh made Wolf look really silly right there. It looked like a slider down on the outside corner. It just dips right out of the strike zone, and Wolf just swings right over the top of it. Some nasty stuff there from Marsh for out number 2.
Molfetta to dig in. The last hope here in the second for the Whitecaps. Another Stanford product. Marsh from the windup. Offers home. Swing and a miss from Molfetta. Another returner in this lineup for Brewster. Just his 3rd game this summer. Marsh is 0-1. Stays upstairs and away. Count it 1-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Base paths empty. Bishop knocking a single into right field, but called out at second, trying to stretch it into 2. 1-1 pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Deflating for an offense like that. You get your first great contact off a starter and immediately thrown out. 2-1 pitch. Out in front of it is Molfetta. Swing and a miss. Now just 1 strike away for Marsh for getting out of the inning.
That's some base running mistakes like some that Y-D have had trouble with here, working out early in that first week. It's all about the read, and Bishop just not able to get a read on that.
They sure have. Early going here, just the start of week 2. Marsh's next pitch, outside and low. This count is pushed full on Molfetta, the left fielder for the Whitecaps. Just 1 hit through 5 plate appearances. As Marsh readies pitch number 22 of the afternoon. Here's the payoff. Lofted out into shallow right field. Cotton under it, wearing the sunglasses, battling the sun, and he's got it to retire the side. So Marsh gives up a single, but faces the minimum through 2. No score here in Brewster, Massachusetts. We go to the top of the third, 0-0. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 3rd inning from Stony Brook Field. 0-0 between Y-D and Brewster. Christian Koss, the last Red Sox hitter to face Chris Mockemer for the first time. Making his 5th plate appearance of the summer, one of the later arrivals to the Y-D lineup. Still 0 for 4. UC Irvine product that ended up leading the Red Sox in batting average once the 2017 summer came to a close. A clip over 300. Struggled a bit here early on, though hoping to find his groove in game number 8 for the Red Sox. Trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. Mockemer's been solid through 2. Got out of a jam in the top of the second, leaving runners at the corners. First pitch to Koss. He hacks at it and fouls it to the backstop. 0-1 on the second baseman for the Red Sox. A .309 batting average last summer through 35 games for Y-D. He played a few different positions around the infield, shortstop, third base, couple games at second. That's where he works the infield this afternoon. 0-1 to Koss off speed. He fights it into shallow first base territory. Chris Wright to get it on the pop out. F3 to start off the frame.
Koss looked like a little fooled on that pitch, going for a curveball, diving out of the strike zone. Can't do anything but just get under it and pop it up. An easy first out for Brewster.
One away in the top of the third. No score, no one on base for Zach Ashford. First guy to get a second look at Chris Mockemer. Grounded out to third to start out the ball game a little while ago. Righty on lefty matchup begins with a curveball falling in for a strike. Ashford's been real good for Y-D. 348 average entering today. Most plate appearances of anyone on the Sox so far. 0-1 to Zach. Bouncer off of home plate. Ball and a strike with Cotton standing on deck. Great crowd here at Stony Brook Field. All the bleachers packed down the first and third baselines. 1-1 to Ashford. Fought off into the trees to the left side. 1-2 the count on the leadoff man for the Red Sox in the top of the third with one out. Both these teams being swept on Father's Day in the first doubleheader of 2018. Brewster falling to Hyannis twice. Katuitt all over the Red Sox as Ashford steps out and calls time. 1-2 count, no one on base and one out. Mockemer from the windup deals the pitch, hit hard on the ground, rolled and gobbled up by Eden, throws across the diamond, it bounces away from right. Ashford awarded second base as it gets out of play. Shortstop Eden had some trouble with that right off the bat. It was bouncing through the grass. Slow roller on the ground and a tough throw as well.
Yeah, it looked like just not enough on that throw, and bounces right before the first base bag and right over there at first. Just can't pick it, and he can't pick it. That ball ends up out of play, and Zach Ashford gets another base and a runner in scoring position for the Red Sox.
So he could score that in E6. Second error charge to Cam Eden on the summer. Back-to-back innings, Y-D with a runner in scoring position and Quinn Cotton at the plate. Mockemer looks back at second, now steps off, and Ashford will scamper back. Cotton, the only strikeout victim so far. Struck out swinging back in the first. Initial offering to him, cut and a miss, blown past him. Mockemer putting a little extra something on that to get ahead of Cotton. Player that was impressive from the start of this summer. Makes some of the loudest contact, I think, that I've heard, at least myself in person. A few loud outs and a lot of extra base hits as well. 0-1 to Cotton, roped right back up the middle where she came from for a base hit. Ashford rounding third. He'll come in and attach home. An RBI single for Quinn Cotton, and the Red Sox strike first.
You mentioned loud contact. Cotton gets a fastball right at the knees and just turns on it, lines it right back where it came from, up the middle for a base hit, and not even a throw from Bishop in center field. Ashford hustling around third, and Y-D strikes first here in Brewster.
Fourth RBI of the summer already for Quinn Cotton. That puts him in a tie with the man that just scored, Zach Ashford. So 1-0 lead for the Red Sox. Cotton off of first. Dashbach now to dig in, 0 for 1. Grounding out back to the pitcher, Mockemer, to end the first inning.
If you're Eden out there at shortstop, you're kicking yourself because you could have had that just second out of the inning. Ashford not on the base paths.
Cotton swinging at the first pitch as Dashbach gives this a ride into deep left field, and it just trickles foul. Only 315 down the left field line, and that had plenty of distance if the wind hadn't carried it.
Yeah, he got that first pitch fastball in the inner half and just turned on it. That was going to be gone by a mile had it stayed fair, but just couldn't get the wind to keep it fair. Wind just blows it slightly foul down that left field line.
Right after he hit it, Dashbach moved right over home plate. So we had a great angle at that line just to see if it could creep past the pole. So 0-1 the count. Cotton stays this time. The delivery misses low, 1-1. It wouldn't have mattered that Cotton got a great jump on that pitch. He was going to have a slow trot to home plate if that stayed fair.
I think McNamara now is just going to think about staying away from that part of the strike zone with his fastball.
He missed well low with that second pitch. A ball and a strike, 1 out in the top of the third. Y-D's already put in a run thanks to the RBI single from Quinn Cotton. Mockemer from the stretch delivers off speed, dipping low, 2 balls and a strike. And you're right, TJ. He's stealing way away from that power that Andrew just showcased.
Yeah, that was a loud sound off the bat. You could hear the crowd just collectively ooh and ah as that ball landed deep out in the trees beyond the left field fence.
Still looking for his first homer of the summer. 2-1, fastball on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Dashbach. Mentioned the 17 home runs that he had this past season. Playing in a ballpark with 315 down the left field line, 321 to right, 375 dead center. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Going is Cotton, throw down to second is high and wide. So a successful stolen bag for Quinn Cotton. But Dashbach retired by way of the K.
Yeah, it didn't look like Cotton got all that good of a jump out there at first base. It looked like he's looking in for the hit and run, and Dashbach just not able to make contact on that. But Cotton just enough pure speed to get in a second.
So he moves into scoring position. Andrew Martinez now to dig in with 2 outs in the top of the third. 1-0 lead for Y-D. Mockemer deals in the strike zone, 0-1. Martinez was nicked by a pitch, just the second one he saw to lead off the second inning. Got him right in on the batting glove, it looked like. He knew it immediately and took first base. Cotton off of second. 2 outs in the top of the third. 0-1 pitch, off speed, connecting for a strike. 0-2 on Martinez.
Yeah, I see Martinez up there. Just looks like he just couldn't pull the trigger on that off-speed pitch. Looking for a fastball on the inner half and got the curveball.
Dyer stands on deck. Options for Mockemer in the driver's seat on the 4-man for the Red Sox. Gets the signs from the catcher, Donovan. They agree. In the 0-2 pitch, nicked foul. Going was Cotton. Got a great jump. Hit and run put on by Scott Pickler. And Martinez keeps the count at no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, another hit and run with 2 strikes, too. That's a very aggressive move, betting that you're going to get a fastball just a pitch in the zone. Martinez just able to foul that one back.
A lot of fans here at Stony Brook. Red Sox and Whitecaps coming to support their squads on a Tuesday afternoon. Cotton off of second with 2 outs in the third. 0-2 pitch, a soft grounder. Charging is the shortstop. Eden throws over to first to retire the side, but not before the Red Sox strike first from Stony Brook. 1-0 lead for Y-D as we go to the home half of the third. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. 1-0 lead for the Red Sox at Stony Brook Field as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Alec Marsh giving up a hard single to Hunter Bishop back in the second, but he was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. So he's faced the minimum, and he goes against 7, 8, 9 for the Whitecaps and Eden Wright and Donovan here in the bottom of the third.
From Cal, one of the Golden Bears.
Cam Eden, the shortstop, wearing number 9. He'll dig into the righty's batter's box. Takes low for ball 1. Marsh, great efficiency so far through 2 innings. Just giving up the 1 hit. Under 25 pitches to get through those first 2 frames. Here's the 1-0 pitch from the ASU product right down the middle for a strike. No outs, no one on the base paths in the bottom of the third. Red Sox up a run. Marsh from the windup. Kicks in the 1-1. Missing outside just by a hair. 2 balls and a strike. No walks given up so far by the Red Sox starter. 2 strikeouts for Marsh. 2-1, grounded foul towards the Whitecaps dugout. Evens the count back up at 2-2. The defending champion Whitecaps. They took down the Red Sox in the first round. Beat Orleans in the Eastern Finals. Most certainly the best regular season team, Orleans, in 2017. Took them down in 3 games. And then took down the Braves as well. 2-2, gets away. Low in the dirt, and the count is pushed full.
And that's a Brewster team that was 500, that finished up the regular season, just a 500 record, but it's all about getting hot at the right time, and that's what the Whitecaps are able to do.
Hoisting the trophy right here in Game 3 of the championship against Bourne. 3-2, another foul ball grounded towards the left side. And the Red Sox had a ton of success against the Whitecaps during the regular season, and then I think you said it perfectly, TJ. It's all about the timing of when a team can gel and start playing its best baseball. That came for Brewster in the first couple of weeks of August. Payoff pitch from Marsh. Off speed, paints the outside corner. Strike 3. Eden goes down by way of the K. And there's 1 away in the third.
Yeah, we've seen Marsh use a good mix of pitches with 2 strikes, whether it be his fastball or one of his off-speed pitches right there. Looked like a slider. Just able to paint that right on the outside corner. Learned that pitch this year. ASU really helped his success in the rotation and using it again right there.
1 out in the bottom of the third. No one on base and a 1-0 lead for the Red Sox. Chris Wright, the 8th man to dig in. Batting from the left side against the righty Marsh. Offers the first pitch, upstairs and away. Right, the first baseman today for the Whitecaps from Bryant in Cumberland, Rhode Island. New England guy playing on the Cape. 1-0, fastball high and away, 2-0. Appearance number 4 for Alec Marsh on the summer. A 2-inning performance and then shortened ones. The rest, 2-0, right down the middle.
That 2-inning one may be his best. Struck out 5 against the Anglers, second game of the season.
Maybe gave Scott Pickler a little confidence to toss him in for a start. Working on the 8-man, 2-1 pitch. Dips a little bit low. 3 balls and a strike with the bases empty, 1 out in the bottom of the third. Red Sox had the off day yesterday after playing 7 games in 6 days. 3-1, swing and a miss. A lot of heat behind that from Marsh, and he's pushed the count full on the verge of strikeout number 4. Righty on lefty, Marsh versus Wright. Payoff pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Alec Marsh, and there's 2 outs in the third.
Both of them looking first at bat of this third inning. Just paints the outside corner with a slider this time. Goes inside the inside corner with a fastball. 2 quick outs for Marsh here in the third.
Joe Donovan to step up. Trying to salvage something for the Whitecaps in the third. 2 outs, no one on base. Marsh first offering off speed, drops in for a strike. He's working quickly and efficiently. That pitch number 36 of the outing through 2 2/3 innings. From the windup, righty delivers. Off speed, connects as well. 0-2 on the 9-man Donovan. Michigan Wolverine batted .250 this past season. Marsh's 0-2 fastball, a couple of inches outside. Great waist pitch, though, ahead in the count 0-2.
Yeah, tried to go back to that same corner he just got Chris Wright on. Fastball, but just missed it.
Marsh from the windup. 1-2, grounded softly, charging. It's the shortstop Martinez, gobbles it up, fires across the diamond. In time, a 1-2-3 for Alec Marsh. He's faced the minimum. 9 up, 9 down for the Whitecaps. We go to the top of the fourth. Red Sox up by a run. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. We're through 3 full innings in Brewster, Massachusetts, and a 1-0 lead for the Red Sox going to the top of the fourth over the Whitecaps. Dana Gray and TJ Mathewson here on a gorgeous Tuesday afternoon that's turning quickly into evening. Lots of sun approaching the 6 o'clock hour. And Matt Dyer to dig in, facing Chris Mockemer, the starter for the Whitecaps, who's given up just the lone run. They came off just 1 hit, but it was that RBI single by Quinn Cotton back in the third. Into the motions against Dyer. First pitch, strike right down the middle. Dyer grounding into a fielder's choice back in the second that pushed Martinez into scoring position. He would end up stranded at third. Righty on righty with no outs in the fourth. 0-1 to Dyer, just a little bit below the knees. Ball and a strike. .357 hitter so far through just 15 plate appearances for the Arizona Wildcat. 1-1 fastball on the outside. Ball and 2 strikes. Brad Beasley standing on deck. Gabe Matthews to follow as the Red Sox look to follow up that run that they scored in the third, hopping on Chris Mockemer. From the windup, 1-2 fastball, swing and a miss, blew it by him. Dyer retired, and there's 1 away.
Well, Dyer just going and chasing a fastball down and out of the strike zone. A little weak wave there. I don't know if he was expecting the fastball, just trying to catch up to it, but just couldn't off the outside edge.
3 strikeouts now for the righty starter for Brewster, and Brad Beasley will dig in. Flew out to the right fielder, Brandon Wolf, back in the second inning. Coming off a Sunday on Father's Day where he smoked a dinger out of Lowell Park. First pitch he sees. Dips low with the shoelaces. 1 hit given up by Mockemer, 1 given up by Marsh, but it was those 2 errors by the shortstop Eden for the Whitecaps that really cost him back in the third frame. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit hard to the hot corner. Lively bobbles it. Now fires across. Not in time to get Beasley. That one was smoked. Lively did get it in his glove, it looked like, for a moment. couldn't complete the play.
Yeah, it looked like he had a beat on that ball right there, but you mentioned just pops out of his glove and gets behind him. But by the time he finds it, spins and throws, Beasley hustling down the line, gets in there at first.
Not a friendly score here at Stony Brook Field. That's now 3 errors charged to the left side of the infield for the Whitecaps, and we're just through 3 1/3. Beasley now on first base. Gabe Matthews will step in. Left-handed hitter facing the righty Mockimer. Working now from the stretch. Sets right at the chest. And deals. Matthews drops this one out into shallow left field. He'll dunk in for a base hit. 2 runners aboard for the Red Sox. Something cooking here in the 4th inning. And Nick Quintana to plate once again with 2 on.
I think that's now 3 hit and runs we've seen from the Red Sox here today through 4 innings. And that one, first pitch swinging by Gabe Matthews, just dunks it into left field. And Beasley in easily at second. He'll stay right there, but 2 runners on for Quintana now.
1 away, first and second in the top of the 4th. Red Sox up 1-0 over the Whitecaps. Nick Quintana can change that scoreline, though, with 1 swing of the bat. 0 for 1 today. Flew out to right back to end the 2nd inning. First pitch to Quintana, swing and a miss, fastball past him. Similar situation that Nick was welcome to back in the 2nd inning. That was 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. This a bit more favorable with only 1 away. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Mockimer glaring it at home plate, receiving the signs from Donovan. Sets at the chest and delivers home the 0-1 upstairs. Donovan, the catcher, tried to frame it down, pull it down just a tad. Home plate umpire Bob Del Ponte not saying so, and it evens the count up at 1-1. Beasley a good lead off of second. Matthews off of first, not being held on by the first baseman right. Decent speed on the paths for the Red Sox. 1-1 to Quintana. Bounces in the dirt and gets away from Donovan. Both runners will advance with ease. Now 2 in scoring position for Quintana. He can do some real damage now with just a single.
Yeah, I think Donovan expected that to bounce straight towards him. Looked like it bounced off to his right and just couldn't move his body in front of it. Just squirts right by him, back to the backstop, and both runners advance.
Tough break for Donovan, and it allows both runners to go up a base. Now Beasley on third, Matthews on second. 1-0 lead for the Red Sox. Quintana at the dish. Mockimer's 2-1 pitch. Driven out into deep right center field. Bishop, the center fielder, ranging under it. He'll make the catch. Tagging so easily as Beasley. Could have probably walked home. Touches home plate and doubles the Red Sox lead. An RBI for Nick Quintana, his first of the summer.
Mike had a chance to get out for just a second, but the wind, as we mentioned, blowing straight in from left field, might have kicked that down just a little bit, but able to get it out onto the warning track and bring home Brad Beasley. Who knows, at Red Wilson Field, that might be a home run, but here just an RBI for Nick Quintana, extending the Y-D lead.
Matthews advancing over to third as well, and Christian Koss, the bottom of the order for the Red Sox, up with 2 outs. First pitch, he bunts it down the third base line, collected by Lively, throws over to first, just in time to get Koss. Suicide squeeze put on by Scott Pickler with 2 away, and it almost works. Koss very close at first base, but the side is retired. Red Sox tack on a run, 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Home half of the fourth inning from Stony Brook Field, a 2-0 lead for the Red Sox. A run coming in the third, and another one tacked on in the top of the fourth to double the lead for the Red Sox. Top of the order coming back up for Brewster. And Alec Marsh back out on the bump. About to throw just his 40th pitch of the afternoon. He's been working with ease. 9 up, 9 down so far. Austin Lively will get his second look. First pitch he takes low in the dirt. Marsh, that ASU product, who faced Hunter Bishop, another Sun Devil, and he singled off him back in the second inning before being thrown out, trying to stretch it into a double. 1-0 on the way, and it's grounded. Fair ball. Recovered by Dashbach, and an easy out as he touches on first. That is a nice job by the first baseman for the Red Sox to get to that before it had the chance to maybe go to the right of the line.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough play out there. It was a routine ground ball, but as Dashbach's bringing his glove down, the ball looks like it dies in the dirt. Lucky he has his glove in the dirt. The ball just goes right in instead of squirting under his glove. It's now 1 down.
1 away, no one on base. First pitch on the way to Massey, swing and a miss, off speed, low in the dirt. He gets ahead of the 2-man for the Whitecaps, also grounding out to first back in the first inning. 0-1 from Marsh is drilled out into right center field. Ashford looks like he's got it, camps under it, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. You talk about efficiency here, TJ.
Yeah, 2-3 pitches per plate appearance, if that. Alec Marsh is on his game today. He has all of his pitches working where he wants to put it. He's got it.
Here's our DH, Connor Gramis.
So 2 away. Bases empty in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 lead for the Red Sox. Connor Gramis to dig in. Making his 18th plate appearance of the summer. 250 hitter. Fouls off the first pitch. Might have even got a piece of that catcher's mask for Dyer.
Aggressive swing for the Whitecaps up there. First pitch swing, and that'll more than help out Alec Marsh's pitch count. That just being pitch number 43.
Into the motions in the 0-1 pitch. A grounder over to Quintana at 30. Backhands. Throws across the diamond. High and wide out of the reach of Dashbach. An error charge to Nick Quintana. Did a nice job fielding it, but lost it on the throw.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough throw. He's standing about 5 feet behind the third base bag down the line. A long throw over to Dashbach at first, and it just sails on him up over his glove. Lucky that didn't go out of play.
And just how Zach Ashford advanced over to second on the E6 back in the third. Gramis goes to second. The ball out of play. So a runner in scoring position for the Whitecaps for the first time. Their first base runner. Bishop did single, but was promptly gunned down. So Gramis off of second, and Hunter Bishop to dig in. He's the one guy that's made real solid contact off of Marsh so far through 3 2/3 innings. Marsh, a glance back at second, comes home, and this one smoked out in a right field, but Cotton's got it. Couple of steps to his right for out number 3. A bit of a chuckle between Marsh and Bishop as they head to their respective dugouts. We're through 4 full innings from Stony Brook Field, a 2-0 lead for Y-D. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 5th inning from Stony Brook Field, a 2-0 lead for the visiting Red Sox. And a new pitcher on the bump for the Whitecaps, lefty Jack Owen, to relieve Chris Mockemer coming out of Auburn.
Yeah, just finished up his freshman season at Auburn. 14 games, 7 starts, a ERA near 6 in those 14 games, 34 2/3 innings pitch. He struck out 35 and walked just 16. Had a couple of saves to his name.
Then he'll face 2-3-4 for the Red Sox. Ashford shows bunt and fouls it off his body, charging down that first base line. He'll have to hop back.
Continuing to push the defense are these Y-D batters. We saw it at the end of the 4th frame. Christian Koss trying to get a suicide squeeze in with 2 outs, unable to come through, and then right away, Ashford trying to put a bunt down and get the defense, keep them on their heels.
And a conversation between the umpiring crew after that play. Ashford bunting it into the dirt. They do call it a foul ball. So the count will stay at 0-1 at the leadoff man for the Red Sox. Advancing on the E6. Back in the 3rd inning, came around to score. Break the deadlock. Since then, the Red Sox have added another. Owen, the lefty, delivering the 0-1. Fastball zips low and away. Evens the count up at 1-1. Ashford turning into this daily leadoff man for the Red Sox. Great speed from the lefty. 1-1. Took something off of it and drops it in for a strike. 1-2. No outs, no one on base in the top of the 5th. Cotton on deck. Dashbach to follow. Ashford to dig back in. Lefty v. lefty. From the windup. Next pitch. 1-2. Grounder over to short. Eden off his glove and then hits him in the face. Tough day for the Brewster shortstop. Ashford advancing for the 2nd time off a miscue from Cam Eden. Y-D has the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, that's just a tough break. The ball kicks up, hits him in the heel of the glove, going to his right, trying to backhand the ball, and ends up getting him right in the face. I think they're going to give Ashford a hit on that one, instead of it being the 4th error on the evening for the Whitecaps.
And they do indeed. It was hit hard, and you said it perfectly, TJ. Just a really tough break for Eden, who's now being attended, or at least talked to, by a couple of the trainers for the Whitecaps. Ashford with that inside-out swing, smacks it to the left side of the infield. And he'll take it. Y-D with the first man on. Now Quinn Cotton to dig in, facing the lefty Owen. Was relieved. Chris Mockemer, the hurler from Kentucky, went 4 innings strong. Just the 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And no earned runs as well. Both coming off of errors. Cotton digs in. First pitch, takes it low for a ball. Quinn 1 for 2 today. Strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Made up for it good, though, with an RBI single in the 3rd that broke the scoreless tie. Grounder right over second base. 1-0 pitch on the ground to the second baseman, Massey. Flips on to second for 1. Over to first. Not in time. That tag applied by Wright. He had to come off of first, try to catch it, tag it, all in one motion. Cotton evades it, though, and he's aboard. Just goes as a fielder's choice.
Yeah, and the rough day defensively for Eden just continues on that throw. That throw, like he had plenty of time to get Cotton, just sailed on him again, high and towards the dugout for Y-D. Cotton able to reach on the fielder's choice.
1 away in the top of the 5th. Dashbach to plate. Hit the ball a mile back in his previous plate appearance. Just went foul, though, down the left field line. And he ended up striking out on a payoff pitch. Initial offering, low in the dirt, gobbled up by Donovan, keeps it in front of him. Keeps Cotton over at first base.
And now the advantage here, facing the lefty in Owen. See if he can find another barrel.
Owen standing at 6 feet, 175 on the bump. California native. 1-0 pitch, skied out into left field. Backpedaling is Moltheta up by the warning track, and he'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Good contact once again for Andrew, but it goes as an out.
I just got under that one. Ball up in the zone, but just barely gets under it. Needed about 10 more feet on that one, but that'll 2 outs. That'll leave it up to Andrew Martinez.
2 outs. Cotton still on first base. 2-0 lead for the Red Sox in the top of the 5th. First of 6 meetings between Y-D and Brewster. Owen the lefty looks at first. Now delivers home to Martinez. Low and away. Starts him off with a ball, and not a great lead for Cotton off of first. It's being held on by right. And with Owen staring directly at him, Cotton a little hesitant. 1-0 on the way, connecting for a strike. Martinez didn't like it. That could have been high or inside, it looked like. Nevertheless, evens the count up at a ball and a strike on the 4-man for the Red Sox. Owen working from the stretch, tosses over. Cotton back in, sliding safely, dirties up that red away uniform for the Red Sox. Keeps the count at 1-1 on Martinez, who was hit by a pitch to start off the second, then grounded out to short to end the third. Owen's 1-1 pitch with the runner going is hit high into the air. Charging is the right fielder, Wolf, right by the line, and it drops in for a fair ball. Coming around to score as Cotton slides in safely. Moving all the way over to third goes Martinez. What a wacky play. Not sure if Wolf just lost that in the sun, but it dunked in fair territory, and the Red Sox have a 3-0 lead.
Wolf was playing out on the warning track in right field. He had a long way in to come, and it just drops barely outside of the infield in fair territory. Looked like it was either going to be a foul ball or caught, but Cotton running the whole way scores from first, and Martinez ends up on third.
That's a great point. Cotton was right off with the pitch, so he had the wheels and the momentum to carry him all the way from first to home on what looked like a lazy fly ball. And the Red Sox add another run. Dyer to plate, swings at the first pitch and skies it foul to the right side. And Martinez going all the way over to third base, so he's just 90 feet away from scoring another run for the Red Sox.
And I think another thing to note on that play is Brewster, that ball getting away from the catcher Donovan, just committed their 4th error in 5 innings.
0-1 pitch is low, and it evens the count at 1-1. So Martinez, they score it as a double, and then a throwing error by the right fielder Brandon Wolf puts him over at third. 1-1 to Dyer, lifted out into right field, but it'll go foul by a good margin and moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes on Dyer with 2 away in the top of the 5th. Red Sox scored 1 run in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, followed up with another here in the 5th, but hoping for more with Matt Dyer at the plate in a 1-2 count. Martinez down the line in the pitch, outside, 2-2. Tough to fault Jack Owen here in this inning. Gave up a ground ball single to Ashford to start things off, and then a lazy fly ball turns into a run for Y-D. Lefty delivers 2-2 off speed on the ground to Macy at second. He's up with it to retire the side, but not before the Red Sox add on another run. It's 3-0 Y-D as we go to the home half of the 5th. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Home half of the fifth inning here at Stony Brook Field. The Red Sox on top of the Whitecaps by a score of 3-0. Alec Marsh out on the mound for Y-D, just cruising his way through this Brewster lineup. Only faced one over the minimum through the first 4 frames. In steps Brandon Wolf, the right fielder. First pitch from Marsh will dive down and out of the strike zone. That being pitch number 48 on the afternoon so far for Marsh. The righty out of the windup will fire home the 1-0. That'll miss down and away for ball 2. 2-0 the count on Wolf. Wolf out of the University, out of Stanford, just finished up his junior season. He saw Marsh earlier Stanford saw Marsh earlier this season as he will hit one high and deep down the left field side, but it will hook foul and out of play. The count now 2 balls and a strike on Wolf. As I mentioned, Marsh saw the Stanford Cardinal earlier this season, back on April 13th, out in Sunken Diamond in Stanford, Northern California. Marsh pitched 6 innings in that matchup. Wolf did not play. That ball missed down and away for ball 3. 3-1 the count. Marsh on that day, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. A 3-1 Stanford win. Man standing on deck, Christian Molfetta, he saw him in that matchup. He's the one in the 3-1. That'll catch the outside corner for a strike. 3-2 the count. Molfetta on that day was 0 for 4. That series ending up in a sweep for the Cardinal. Marsh shaking off his catcher, Dyer. Still in the windup. Here's the 3-2 offering on the way. That'll miss high and away. Marsh walks his first batter of the afternoon. Wolf reaches first to lead off this 5th inning.
He's been wildly efficient. You mentioned that he just picked up that first walk, and really the only guy that's made any sort of decent contact off him, well, it's his teammate in Bishop. He had that single back in the 2nd, and then that liner out to right to end the 4th inning. Other than that, it's been a lot of ground balls induced and 4 strikeouts as well for Marsh.
Now here is Molfetta. Stepping into that right-handed batter's box. Marsh working out of the stretch for the first time today. We'll throw on over to first. Wolf will dive back in time. The 2nd time today. Connor Graham's a designated hitter. Reached on a Nick Quintana error back in the 4th inning. Marsh winds, and here's the first pitch on the way. That'll miss low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Molfetta just finishing up his redshirt sophomore season at Stanford. Dyer will call time, and Y-D's going to have a visit on the mound with Marsh. If he's going, pitch count just over a hair over 50, 52 pitches for Marsh. Just out there to have a conversation, settle him down a little bit. As I mentioned, Molfetta just finishing up his campaign at Stanford, hit just 188, 4 doubles, a home run, 7 RBIs, struck out 21 times across just 12 walks.
I think that's just more of a meeting just to settle him down. It's really the first start of an inning where you could even make an argument that he's struggled finding the strike zone just a little bit.
Marsh set on the rubber. Here's the 1-0 offering on the way. It's like an off-speed pitch. He'll catch the outside corner, even up the count at a ball and a strike. Like Wolf over there. Faked that he was going to steal just for a step. Didn't end up going anywhere. Not too big of a lead over there at first. Held on by Dashbach. Sun shining right in Dashbach's eyes. Marsh will throw over. Wolf will dive back in time. First time Marsh has had to do that today.
Wolf only attempted even 1 stolen base this past season for the Cardinal and hasn't attempted one yet this summer.
Marsh set in the stretch. Here's the 1-1. That'll miss down and away for a ball. 2-1 now the count. Nick Quintana playing close to the line at third. Little infielder shaded up the middle for the double play. Ashford out in center field, shaded over in the right center field gap. With Molfetta at the plate. Marsh set again on the rubber. Here's the 2-1. That'll miss down and away again. 3 balls and a strike on Molfetta.
First time this afternoon where he's really pitching around a hitter. For the most part, he's attacked every single guy that he's faced. But a tough walk for Wolf to start off the inning, and now not a favorable count against Molfetta.
Marsh going to have to work back into this one. He's set. Here's the 3-1. That'll miss, down and away. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Marsh. After just cruising through the first 4 frames, he walks the first 2 Whitecaps to start off this bottom half of the 5th.
Number 9, not
the kind of start to this inning he's going to want to do, but now he's going to have to work around the problem. Here's Cameron Eden, the shortstop. He struck out looking to start the 3rd inning. He's had a rough day in the field as well. Made a couple errors and had a ball bounce off his face back in this top half of the 5th inning.
Could make up for it, though, with one swing of the bat.
He represents the tying run at the plate. Marset peeks back at the runner Wolf, and they got him leaning at second. He'll throw on over, but they cannot get the tag down him on Wolf, diving back into the bag.
And that's unfortunate because Marsh was ready to throw that ball, and Koss couldn't get there in time. He was looking at a vacated second base when he wanted to make that toss.
Marsh set again, looks back at the runner. Here's the first offering. Swung out and popped foul down the first base line and out of play. Out near on the grass behind the Y-D dugout. Past the section of fans sitting behind home plate and the Red Sox dugout, as now Koss will run in and check in on Marsh, let him go over the signs again. Make sure they're on the same page they decide to throw back to second again, keep Wolf close. Marsh now at 57 pitches on the evening. Absolutely cruising through the first 4 frames. Now seeing his first signs of trouble here in the 5th. Eden steps back into the batter's box. Marsh set. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss, down and away, even up the count at a ball and a strike. Flag out in right center field. Now sitting down. Not a lot of wind out in the outfield. Here comes head coach Scott Pickler slowly making his way out of the dugout. And I think that's going to be it for Marsh here in the 5th. Finish his day, just 4 innings. Leave 2 runners on base. Just 1 hit allowed.
Or, of course, could just be a conversation. You never know with Scott Pickler. I mean, he makes a lot of the pitching meetings as well, or he could just be stalling to wait for his reliever to come in, and it will, in fact, be a change for the Red Sox. But you got to tip your cap to Alec Marsh. Obviously, a little bit of a struggle here, but for the most part, a fantastic performance.
Yeah, Marsh just looking like he ran out of gas a little bit here in the 5th inning. 4 shutout innings of 1 hit ball. A new pitch will be on the mound for the Red Sox. We will get all that information to you on the other side of the break. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts, Y-D Red Sox ahead of the reigning Cape Cod League champions, Brewster Whitecaps, 3-0 here in bottom of the 5th inning. 2 on, no out. A pitching change for Y-D now in out of Canisius College. We've seen him in 2 games so far this season, William Frank. 2 games, 4 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts. Yet to allow a run as that first pitch is popped up and out of play by shortstop Cameron Eden. Saw 2 pitches from Alec Marsh, a ball and a strike. So Frank enters. Now the count, a ball and 2 strikes on Eden. As we mentioned, had a rough day in the field so far. Frank set. Here's the wind in the 1-2. Popped up and out of play again. This one straight behind us, behind home plate. Count will remain a ball and 2 strikes.
Frank, 2 appearances, and both of those, he went two full strong and still hasn't given up a hit, let alone a run this summer.
Frank staring in at Matt Dyer behind home plate. Gets his sign, comes set. Here's the 1-2 again. That one gets right past through the wickets of Dyer. Runners will advance. Dyer cannot get back in time to make a throw. That'll be ball 2 down and in the dirt, and both runners will move up for Brewster. Now 2nd and 3rd, still no one out.
That was a bizarre play. It seemed like Frank delivered it maybe a little bit quicker than usual, and Dyer had that literally skip right between his legs.
He crossed Dyer up a little bit, not expecting that pitch to be where it was. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The runners out on 2nd and 3rd, both Marsh's responsibility. Brandon Wolf at 3rd, Malfetta on 2nd. Here's the 2-2. That'll miss high and inside. Count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Eden. Chris Wright, the first baseman, stands on deck. Eden struck out looking in his first time up. That was against Marsh, now facing the righty Frank. Here's the 3-2 offering. Strike 3 called right at the top of the strike zone. Frank just paints the strike zone right at the letters, and a huge first out for the Red Sox here in the 5th.
And Eden was already about 4 steps down the line. He'd already tossed his bat to take first base. Home plate umpire says, not so fast.
A bit of a disbelief on the face of Cameron Eden. Couldn't believe that got called a strike. Now in steps the first baseman, Chris Wright. Still 1 out here, bottom of the 5th inning. Y-D ahead 3-0, but Brewster threatening, runners on at 2nd and 3rd. Here's the wind in the first offering. That'll catch the outside corner with a curveball. Count now, no balls and a strike. Runner still out, taking slight leads out on 2nd and 3rd, now coming bigger with the Frank coming set. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. That'll catch the outside corner for strike 2. 0-2 the count.
Back-to-back great curveballs here from Frank to get ahead in the count. And now he's got some options in the driver's seat on Wright.
Right back in the batter's box. Frank on the mound. Here's the 0-2. Just misses the inside corner with a fastball. Seemed like the entire Y-D dugout for that to be strike 3, but instead just misses a hair inside. Now 1-2.
Might have been a bit of a makeup call there, going back to the at-bat with Eden.
Frank stares in at Dyer to get his sign. Wright digs back in, a sophomore out of Bryant University. So far this summer, just 3 for 11 in 4 games, a .273 average. 4 strikeouts across just 1 walk. The doubleheader on Sunday versus Hyannis was 2 for 6 with a walk and a strikeout. Frank sit on the rubber. Here's the 1-2. And just below the knees, maybe a hair outside. Looks like Frank painted that outside corner, but just didn't get the call from Bob Del Pont behind home plate. Count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Y-D superfan Gary really did not like that call, audibly letting know his displeasure.
Frank staring in. Now with 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chris Wright. Here's the 2-2 offering. That one is popped sky high on the infield. Running in and calling for it is Nick Quintana. He settles under it and makes the catch, jogging towards the first base foul line. After the first 2 reach here in the 5th, 2 big outs for Will Frank out of the bullpen.
Yeah, I love that approach from Frank there. He tries the 2 fastballs, tries to place them, and maybe one of them could have been called a strike. Doesn't matter, though. He comes back off speed, and Wright wasn't tested to it. Skied it high.
Now here is Joe Donovan, the catcher out of Michigan. This summer so far, just 4 at-bats, an RBI. Still has yet to see his first hit. Grounded out to short his first time up today, back in the 3rd. Frank still working with 2 runners on. Here's the first offering. Bounces in there. Good block by Dyer. That looked like it almost bounced on home plate. Hit Dyer right in the middle of the chest. So it'll be ball 1 from Frank. Wolf still leading off of 3rd. Malfetta leading off of 2nd. Right-hander Donovan in the batter's box. Frank set again. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss low and away. Gets by Dyer again. Here comes the runner. Wolf from 3rd. Throws it to Frank at the plate and safe. Frank can't believe it. They think they got him at home plate. We had a pretty good view from where we're sitting right here. It looked like Wolf was out at home plate. Frank can't believe it, but Brewster gets on the board.
Well, a makeup call isn't supposed to be when the run comes in to score. Maybe a pitch or 2. That was unbelievable. The entire home plate was blocked. I don't know how he could have touched the plate.
Frank, when he caught the ball from Dyer, Dana mentioned fell to the ground right in front of home plate and slapped the tag down on Wolf, but according to home plate umpire Bob Del Ponte, it was not in time. Donovan still at the plate. The runner, Malfetta, still leading off of 3rd. Now 3-1 in favor of the Red Sox. Run in here in the 5th. Frank set. Here's the 2-0. That'll miss low again. Dyer able to keep that one in front of him. The count now 3 balls and no strikes.
And not noted is that was a fantastic play from Dyer to get to that so quickly and give an accurate flip.
Dyer's had some trouble keeping balls in front of him here today. Here's a 3-0 from Frank. That'll catch the inside corner for a strike. 3-1 now the count. So a couple balls get past him, but just an unfortunate end of that call are the Red Sox. And now a run in for Brewster. Here's the wind in the 3-1. That one is lined into center field for a base hit. Malfetta will jog home and score. Donovan stops at first, an RBI single, and now Brewster within a run. It is 3-2 Red Sox.
It's a tough break for YD, but at the end of the day, you got to bear down and get that 3rd out when you can. And Frank leaves that one right over the heart of it. Donovan drives it.
Lively.
Now here, the order will flip back over for the Whitecaps. Austin Lively will dig in for the 3rd time today. 0 for 2 so far. Ground out to Alec Marsh, the starting pitcher in the 1st inning, and a ground out to Dashbach at first back in the 4th. Here's the first pitch from Frank. That'll catch the inside corner for strike 1. That'll close Marsh's line on the evening. 4 innings, a hit, 2 runs, both earned. A walk and 4 strikeouts. Frank set. Here's the 0-1. Curveball will miss high. Dyer looks over at first to make sure Donovan not going anywhere. I'll even up the count at a ball and a strike. The Y-D defense playing straight up behind Frank. Lively, the left-hander, will step back into the left-handed batter's box. Frank set. Here's the 1-1 on the way. Fouled straight off of home plate. Might have caught a piece of Lively, too. Count now a ball and 2 strikes out of Lake Washington High School, Kirkland, Washington. Entering his 2nd season at Seattle U. Frank a strike away from getting out of this here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 runs in for the Whitecaps. They've closed to within a run of the Red Sox. 1-2 offering on the way from Frank. That one is fouled up and out of play along the 3rd base line. Count now will stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
Challenged him there with the fastball. Right at the knees, could have been called a strike, so Lively had to swing at it, just getting a piece of it to stay alive.
Runner Donovan will lead off of first. He represents the tying run. Here's the 1-2. That one's dribbled out to shortstop. Martinez fields it, moving to his right. Will throw it back to second base to Cost covering, and then we'll get the 3rd out of the inning there, but not before 2 runs come across for the Whitecaps in the bottom half of the 5th inning. We will head to the top of the 6th. 3-2 Red Sox lead. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top half of the 6th inning, Y-D in front of Brewster. 3-2 for Y-D, a run on 4 hits and 1 error for the Whitecaps. 2 runs on 2 hits and 4 errors.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're at number 26.
5, 6, and 7 due up for Y-D here in the 6th. Be Brad Beasley, the left fielder, stepping in. He's popped out to right field and reached on an error, came around to score back in the 4th. The first pitch will miss down, catch the strike zone. Down and on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Here's the next pitch on the way to Beasley, and he will dribble it foul down the 3rd baseline. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes, and some displeasure from the crowd here on the Y-D side, where that first strike was called. Quickly, 0-2 hole for Beasley. 3 for 6 on Sunday at Katuitt, including a booming home run. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and an out here for the Whitecaps here in the 6th.
That's just a tough at-bat for Beasley because the first one surely didn't look like a strike, and then just like that, you already fall behind, and you're trying to work yourself back and give Owen credit. It was a nice off-speed pitch to get the K.
That's the first strikeout of the evening for Jack Owen. Steps Gabe Matthews, the designated hitter today for Y-D. Curveball will catch the outside corner for strike 1. Lefty on lefty matchup. Matthews out of the University of Oregon. It's the wind in the next pitch. Check swing. Home plate umpire Bob Del Ponte said he went around, and second straight batter quickly 0-2.
I think that was even going to be a called strike as well. That's why Matthews thought about swinging there.
Just couldn't pull the trigger right there. So Owen will step off, go through the signs again with Donovan behind home plate. Nick Quintana stands on deck for Y-D. Here's the wind in the 0-2. It'll miss just a hair low. Like it might have caught the inside corner, but just below the strike zone. The count now a ball and 2 strikes on Matthews. Quintana on deck. Koss, the 9-hole hitter, stands in the hole. So next pitch on the way. Fastball swing and a miss for strike 3. Second strikeout of the evening for Jack Owen. And there's 2 down here in the 6th. Nick Quintana will stride to the plate looking for his first hit of the day. Had a sac fly back in the 4th to score the second run of the evening for Y-D. Steps in. Here's the first pitch from Owen. Curveball will catch the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. Owen winds, and here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. That again will catch the strike zone, and the count now 0-2 on Quintana.
Good stuff here from Owen. A much better inning compared to where he ran into some trouble back in the 5th.
He is all around the strike zone here in the 6th. Here's the 0-2. And it will just miss inside. Donovan tried to sell it on the inside corner, but could not catch it. Now a ball and 2 strikes on Quintana. Owen quickly back on the rubber. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. A off-speed pitch diving out, down and out of the strike zone. Quintana running down to first. thinking it gets away from Donovan, but it does not. It is strike 3, and Owen strikes out the side here in the top of the 6th inning. We will head to the bottom half of the 6th frame. Y-D in front of Brewster by a score of 3-2. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom half of the 6th frame, Y-D in front of Brewster by a score of 3-2. Mike Massey, the second baseman, will step into the batter's box to lead off this 6th inning for the hometown Whitecaps. Braden Fink now on the mound for Y-D out of the University of Oklahoma. Lefty will wind and fire home the first pitch. First pitch swinging. Massey flies it high into shallow center field. In comes Ashford, but out goes the shortstop Martinez. One pitch, one out for Braden Fink. Fink appeared in a game so far this season. Sunday at Kituit. Just pitched just a third of an inning. Allowed a run on no hits, one walk. Let's look to get some more work here in today. Just a day off for him. We'll bring in Connor Gramis, the designated hitter. He struck out looking and reached on an error in his 2 plate appearances today. As Dyer will go out and go over the signs with Fink to make sure they're on the same page. We said we've seen Dyer get maybe crossed up a couple times here today. Trying to keep all those baseballs in front of him. One down here, bottom of the 6th inning. No one on. Here's Grahams at the plate. Fink gets his sign from Dyer. Here's the wind in the first offering. Another first pitch swinging over to Quintana at third. He will field it. A laser over to Dashbach at first, pulls him off the bag, but gets the tag down on the runner. Grahams, and 2 pitches, 2 outs for Fink here in the 6th.
I'll tell you what, Andrew Dashbach is showing some stuff over at first base just through these first few games, and maybe when you saw him on the roster, you thought it would be his bat that would stand out, and not that that hasn't been impressive, but he's been very, very solid defensively as well.
Only 2 errors this season playing first base for the Stanford Cardinal. Here's Hunter Bishop. He's hit a couple balls hard here today. Second inning, led off that inning with a single, but was thrown out trying to advance to second. And then back in the 4th, lined out to Quinn Cotton in right. Fink winds. Here's the first offering on the way. He'll show bunt, pop it up to Fink. He's got it for out number 3. 3 pitches, 3 outs for Braden Fink here in the bottom of the 6th inning. How about that? A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Whitecaps here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Y-D in front of Brewster by a score of 3-2. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Red Sox in front of the Whitecaps, 3-2. Top half of the 7th inning, 9-1 and 2 due up in the Y-D order. Christian Koss out of UC Irvine will step in for his 3rd plate appearance of the day. He'll be followed by Zach Ashford and Quinn Cotton. Koss 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch on the way, he'll dribble that up the middle. Ranging over is the second baseman, Massey. He will field it, throw over to first, not in time. Koss showing off his wheels, hustling down the line, and first pitch swinging. It's on first. Leadoff base runner on for Y-D here in the 7th.
He's shown a lot of speed over the past couple of innings. He tried to bunt for that suicide squeeze at the end of the 4th, was just called out by a step, and here he beats it by a step to start things off.
And the lineup will turn over. Here's Zach Ashford, the leadoff hitter. 1 for 3 so far today. Single back in the 5th, reached on an error in the 3rd, and a ground out in the 1st. Owen now at 28 pitches, working here in his 3rd inning of work. Throw on over to first, but Koss back in time. Koss, of course, led Y-D in batting average last season. Hit .309 for the summer. Ashford, the left-hander, will step into the batter's box. Here's the first pitch. Lined out into the gap in left center field. Over is Bishop. He has it and will squeeze it for out number 1. Good range out there by Hunter Bishop in center field, going hard to his right and able to get that one before it lands in the gap.
That's unfortunate for Zach. Some of the best contact we've seen all afternoon. Jumped all over that offering from Owen, but couldn't find the soft spot in left center.
Now in steps Quinn Cotton, who's batted in 1 of the 3 Y-D runs here today. An RBI single back in the 3rd. He'll step in. Runner on first, 1 out. First pitch on the way, check swing, and ball is low. They check down to first, and Steve Durant said he did not go down at first. Count now a ball and no strikes on Cotton. Cotton 2 for 5 with a double back on Sunday against Katuitt in the doubleheader. Owen will throw over to first. Koss back in plenty of time. Andrew Dashbach stands on deck. He hit a ball a mile back in the 3rd inning, but ended up striking out in that at-bat. Here's the 1-0 to Cotton. Just missed off the outside edge, and the count now in Cotton's favor. 2 balls and no strikes.
He's just looked to barrel something up here, try and drive it. He's made such good contact this summer. Still looking for that first homer, though.
And add on some insurance runs for the Red Sox. From the way the pitching staff has looked the past week, too many runs cannot be enough. Owen looks over the runner. Koss at first. Here's the 2-0. That'll catch the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 now the count. As mentioned, Y-D entering this game, the worst ERA in the Cape League, 6.04. They're finishing up last season. Yes, a bunch of new arms, but nonetheless a 3.21 ERA. That one is dribbled through the hole at short into left field for a base hit. As mentioned, that hard contact, Dana. Cotton finding the holes on the infield. Picks up his 2nd hit of the day and Red Sox are now in business. Runners on at first and second, just one out.
And speaking of another guy that can get a hold of one right here, wouldn't this be a nice time for Dashbach's first home run of the season?
Now Dashbach will stride into the left-handed batter's box. 6'3", 225 pounds. Hiking up those pants to show the Red Sox. Wearing stirrups today. Jamie Shevchuk out of the dugout. There's a Whitecap warming up in the bullpen. Looks like it actually might be the pitching coach, Chip Dill. Looks like there's a Whitecap warming up down in the Brewster bullpen behind their dugout, way down the third base line. Looks like it's Morgan McSweeney warming up in the bullpen. So Whitecaps taking their time out there on the rubber, but looks like Dill will head back to the Brewster dugout down the third base line. And Dashbach will stride to the plate. I think the message right there was, we saw the damage this guy can do. Do not leave one over the middle of the plate. In steps Dashbach, taps his bat on home plate. Owen stares in, gets a sign from Donovan. The lefty's set at the belt. Here's the first offering on the way. Swung on that one, is ripped out into center field. Coming into the gap is Bishop. He can't get it. It'll drop in for a base hit. Having to stop at third is Christian Koss, because was not sure if Bishop would be able to get over and get that in center field. But now the base is juiced, and the cleanup hitter, Andrew Martinez, striding to the plate.
Yeah, you talked about it perfectly. Koss was kind of stuck between second and third, because that was bizarre. It was loud contact, but really didn't have that much distance to it. And especially with that catch that Bishop made earlier in the inning, you don't want to test his range.
Now here is one of the newest members of the Red Sox. Andrew Martinez made his debut in the first two games of that doubleheader Sunday versus Katuitt. Here's the first pitch from Owen. It'll be fouled up and out of play right behind us, behind home plate. And the count 0-1 on Martinez out of UC Santa Barbara, 37 games. Just a .244 average, 8 doubles, 6 home runs. Was 1 for 4 in the doubleheader on Sunday. Hitting cleanup in just his third game as a Red Sox. 0-1 the count. Bases juiced. 0-1 the count on Martinez, 1 down. Next pitch, a swing and a miss. And quickly, 0-2 on the Y-D cleanup hitter.
The last thing you want to do in this situation is strike out. Obviously, with 1 out, you can still score a run by putting the ball in play and recording an out. Martinez has got to be careful here, though.
Corners in middle of the infield, back for the Whitecaps. Here's the next pitch. That'll miss just off the outside edge. Good take there from Martinez. And the count now, a ball and 2 strikes. As mentioned, the middle infielders, Eden and Massey playing up the middle for a double play. And meanwhile, the corners, Lively and Wright, playing about even with their respective bags. 1-2 the count on Martinez. Owen winds and fires. That'll just miss the outside corner again. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Great discipline here from Martinez, waiting for something that he wants to swing at. And those are really good 2-strike pitches as well.
Martinez back in the right-handed batter's box. Bases loaded full of Red Sox. Koss at third, Cotton at second, Dashbach at first as Martinez calls time. Step out, regather himself. Taps his bat on home plate. Brings his hands up to about his letters. Here's the wind in the 2-2. Swung on that one is skied high out into shallow left field. In comes Malfetta. He will squeeze it and make the catch. Tagging and trying to score is Koss. The throw will be in time, and they got him. Koss can't believe it.
I agree with him, too. He got his leg in. He completely avoided the tag and got his right foot in first.
The ball was in shallow left field. It was an aggressive send by Scott Pickler. But a good, strong throw by Malfetta. As Dana, you said, he was sliding towards the outside part of home plate, trying to avoid the tag of Donovan. and thought he was able to get his hand around the tag, but just not able to do it. Scott Pickler not happy, still having words with the home plate umpire, Bob Del Ponte, but we will head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Y-D in front of the Whitecaps by a score of 3-2. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Stanford right fielder
Brandon Wolf striding to the plate in the bottom half of the 7th inning for the Whitecaps. They trail the Y-D Red Sox by a score of 3-2. Y-D not able to cash in on a sacrifice fly opportunity in the bottom half of the 7th inning off the bat of Andrew Martinez. But a strong throw from Olfetta out in the outfield, and Christian Koss was gunned down at the plate. Braden Fink, after a 3-pitch bottom half of the 6th inning, back out on the mound for Y-D. Fires home a first pitch ball to Wolf, 1-0 the count. Following Wolf will be Molfetta and Cameron Eden, the shortstop. It's Y-D 9 outs from securing win number 3 on the season. Trying to hold down these Whitecaps here in the bottom half of the 7th. Here's the 1-0. That one is fouled straight back. The count will even up at a ball and a strike.
When you look at it, especially, could almost be technically a 2-run swing if those calls at home plate go the other way.
Yeah, both Scott Pickler not happy with either of those calls made by Bob Del Ponte behind home plate, but nonetheless, they were made, and Y-D's just 3 runs on the board. Fink will step off as time is called by Wolf. We have a defensive change for Y-D in the field. Taking over at third base is Luke Waddell, in place of Nick Quintana. Fink staring in for his sign. Comes set. Here's the wind in the 1-1. And the swung and fouled straight back. The count now a ball and 2 strikes. When Fink's looking in there towards Matt Dyer for his sign, he holds his left hand down, almost scraping the dirt. Kind of like a left-handed version of Craig Kimbrell, the Boston Red Sox. Staring for his sign. Squatting way down to look for that. But he'll come set, get his sign from Dyer. Here's the 1-2 offering on the way. That'll miss high and inside. Even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waddell playing close to the line down at third. Dashbach the same at first. Outfielders playing a little bit deeper than normal. No doubles, trying to prevent that 1-run lead. Dashbach will call time, run over to the Y-D dugout and grab some shades. The sun is shining right in his face over there at first. 2-2 the count on Brandon Wolf. No one out here in the 7th. Here's the wind in the 2-2. Fouled straight back, up and out of play again. This one way out behind home plate. The count will stay the same at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good battle here between Wolf And Fink to start off this inning, especially considering the inning that Fink had right before, only the 3 pitches to get that 3 outs.
Yeah, this would be called a lot of work here for Fink if he was working off that last inning. It's the wind in the 2-2. A check swing, foul ball straight back again. Reaching quite a battle. This at-bat right here, the next pitch will double the amount of pitches he had to throw in just the last inning alone. Excuse me, that pitch right there doubles it up. That is pitch number 6. Here's the wind and pitch number 7 on the way. That one is lined high and deep down the left field line, but it will hook foul out of play into the trees beyond the Whitecaps bullpen down the left field line. Count will stay at 2-2.
Luckily for Fink as well, that was really the first pitch of this at-bat that he's kind of left hanging over the plate. And might have surprised Wolf a little bit as well because he was out in front of it.
Home plate umpire gets some new baseballs from the Whitecaps dugout. Jug back behind home plate. Wolf back in the batter's box, taps home plate. Swings that bat out towards the pitcher, Fink. Holds it back, now brings it back. Fink gets his sign. Here's the 2-2 offering on the way. That'll just miss the inside corner. Didn't miss by much. Dyer trying to frame it and hold it right there, but Bob Del Ponte behind home plate said that was inside, and the count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fink quickly back on the rubber. Bottom half of the 7th inning, Y-D a 3-2 lead. Here's the full count offering on the way from Fink. I'll miss down and in for ball 4. Wolf, a leadoff walk here in the 7th. Just like that, the tying run will stride to first base, and his teammate back at school, Christian Molfetta, will stride to the plate.
That's a heck of an at-bat there from Brandon Wolf. Not only do you force Fink to toss a ton of pitches, but of course getting that leadoff guy on is important. They did it in a good way.
Now Wolf out on first. He walked to lead off the 5th inning. That against Alec Marsh. Came around to score on a wild pitch. Now here is Molfetta. He walked his last time up as well. It's the wind in the first pitch from Fink. That'll get down and in the dirt and get past Dyer. And scooting down to second is Wolf. And seen it multiple times. Matt Dyer having a hard time staying in front of pitches here today.
And the few that I can remember have gone right through his legs, opposed to moving left to right or even north to south. It's all going through the wickets.
Dyer just got to keep that ball in front of him, chest it up, keep his glove down. That ball from getting to the backstop. Seen a lot of Brewster runners advancing on pass balls and wild pitches so far. This time is called from Molfetta at home plate. Fink will step off. 7:02 blue. Taking his time to get his signs here. Runner Wolf leads off of second. He represents the tying run for the Whitecaps. 3-2, Y-D leads, bottom of the 7th inning. Fink staring in to get his sign, arm scraping near the ground again. Now comes set. Here's the 1-0. No, he will step off and look Wolf back to second base, where not too big of a lead over there at second. Zach Ashford, the center fielder for Y-D, shaded over just a tad in the right center field gap. Fink set on the rubber. Here's the 1-0. An off-speed pitch. He'll catch the inside corner right at the knees. And the count will even up at a ball and a strike. Quinn Cotton playing somewhat near to the line out there in right field. Sun also right in his eyes. Had some trouble with the sun on Sunday in Katuitt. Fink stares back at the runner Wolf. Here's the 1-1. That'll bounce in there through the wickets again of Dyer, and advancing down to third is Wolf. Matt Dyer having a really tough time behind home plate with those pitches in the dirt. That is now 2 on this at bat from Molfetta. Wolf makes his way all the way to third, and now Brewster, the tying run, is just 90 feet away at third base on no hits.
And Dyer going out there to have a conversation with Fink and probably just apologizing because both those pitches are kind of what you want, especially off speed. Bury something in the dirt, hope that the batter chases it, but you need your catcher to back you up.
Now, we've seen Dyer at catcher. We've also seen him at first base so far. Getting the catch start at catcher today and not having a great night behind the plate. Here's the 2-1. That'll catch the outside corner, even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. No outs here, bottom of the 7th inning. Y-D in front of Brewster by a score of 3-2. Brewster just 2 hits on the day, but have been able to scratch across 2 runs against this Y-D staff. Fink set. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Challenged him upstairs with a fastball, and Fink blows him away for out number 1.
And there's a lot of off speed to Molfetta up until that strikeout pitch, the fastball away. Couldn't hold off of it, and a big-time strikeout as well.
Now here steps Cameron Eden to the plate.
One of the Golden Bears, shortstop.
He has struck out both times he's been up at the plate today, both of them looking. In the third, it was against Alec Marsh, the starter for Y-D today. First pitch from Fink, a swing and a miss by Eden, and it's quickly 0-1. Back in the 5th inning was William Frank, first batter he faced out of the Y-D bullpen. And now it's Braden Fink, the lefty, on the mound. He comes set. Here's the 0-1 offering on the way to Eden. Swing and a miss again. Quickly ahead 0-2. Runner Wolf still leading off of third. The infield for Y-D playing all up on the grass. If they get a ground ball right to them, they would come home to Matt Dyer and prevent that tying run from scoring. Fink comes set. Here's the 0-2 offering on the way. Swung on, and that's fouled straight towards the Brewster dugout and out of play. Count still no balls and 2 strikes. Braden Fink trying to hand Cameron Eden a hat trick of strikeouts here on this beautiful Tuesday evening for baseball here in Brewster, Massachusetts. At White House Field, home of the reigning 2017 Cape Cod League champion Whitecaps. Here's the 0-2. Pitch will miss down and inside. Off-speed pitch there. The count now a ball and 2 strikes. Wind still staying still out there in right center field. Excuse me, it's Stony Brook Field here in Brewster, home of the Whitecaps. Here's the wind in, the 1-2. Swing, and that just got a piece of it fouled straight back behind home plate. The count will remain a ball and 2 strikes.
Like for Fink here to challenge Eden, similar to how he did Molfetta, especially with that righty hitter. Put something off the plate. He's got a couple pitches to waste here. Try and keep it out of play if you can. See if you can get those back-to-back strikeouts.
Fink staring in at Dyer to get his sign. Comes set at the belt again. The runner Wolf leads off of third. Here's the 1-2. Swung on that is hit out into the right center field gap, and that'll back up Ashford. He'll squeeze it for the out. Tagging and scoring the tying run is Brandon Wolf coming home from third. And the Whitecaps have tied the score at 3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Eden didn't get all of it, but got enough to score the runner Wolf from third. Now a tie game, a run in, and there's 2 down.
Great job by Eden there, especially considering the afternoon that he's had at the plate and out in the field, not staying too down on himself in a difficult count, able to see one over the plate and drive it, get it out into the outfield. Plenty of time to score that tying run.
And for Y-D, a run that probably could have been prevented. Matt Dyer allowed a couple of wild pitches in that inning, a couple balls going right through the wickets. Now no one on. 2 outs, and in steps Chris Wright, the first baseman. Another one will scoot right to the backstop. An off-speed pitch in the dirt, and the count's 1-0. 3-3 tie here in the bottom of the 7th inning. For Brewster, a run in on no hits. Just 2 on the evening. For Y-D, 3 runs on 7 hits. Fink comes set. Here's the 1-0. Fouled straight back by Wright. That'll even up the count at a ball and a strike. The infield now playing back for Y-D with the runners off the base paths. Andrew Martinez out there in shallow left field on the grass. He's working his position out there at short. Fink, hand dragging near the dirt, gets his sign and comes set. Here's the 1-1 offering. That'll bounce in there, blocked by Dyer, and the count will now go in Wright's favor. It's 2-1.
One of the reasons that a couple of these pitches have gotten past Dyer is just his stance in the crouch. Well, I guess not the crouch, putting that right leg all the way down on the dirt, opening up a little more territory.
2 wild pitches in this inning. Both have been costly, allowed the tying run to score. Here's the 2-1. That one is lined out into shallow left field. Back is Martinez. In is Beasley. Neither can get it. It'll drop in right in that Bermuda Triangle out in shallow left field. A 2-out base runner for the Whitecaps. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Joe Donovan.
Nice piece of hitting there from Wright. Fastball kind of came in on him, and he's just able to lift it into that soft spot of left center field, kind of fight it off and get on base. And now the Whitecaps with a chance to actually take a lead for the first time this afternoon.
2-out base runner for the Whitecaps. Dyer out to have a quick word with Fink. Pitch to contact, get that quick third out, and get back to the plate. So 3-3 tie, bottom of the 7th inning. Go-ahead run for Brewster leads off of first in Chris Wright. In steps Joe Donovan for his third at-bat. An RBI single back in the 5th inning. Also grounded out to Martinez at short back in the 3rd. It's the one in the first pitch by Fink. That's fouled up and out of play along. Actually, that'll stay in play. It'll be squeezed out there by Andrew Dashbach. That one looked like headed behind us, but it will stay in the field of play and caught by Dashbach for out number 3. We'll head to the top half of the 8th inning. Not before Brewster ties it up at 3. Your score after 7. The Red Sox 3 and the Whitecaps 3. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top half of the 8th inning, Y-D and Brewster all knotted up at 3 here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts. TJ Matheson alongside Dana Gray here. Beautiful Tuesday night for baseball. Game number 8 on the season for Y-D. Game number 7 for Brewster. We have a pitch hitter for the Red Sox, batting in the spot of Matt Dyer. And 5th spot in the order will be Johnny DeLuca. He's finished up his freshman season at the University of Oregon. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Red Sox. DeLuca, Beasley, and Matthews.
Jonathan DeLuca.
DeLuca hit .212 this past season at Oregon. Switch hitter will step into the left-handed batter's box to face the new pitcher for the Whitecaps, Morgan McSweeney, sophomore out of Wake Forest. Just had one outing back on June 15th, a 10-1 win at Chatham. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. Next pitch will miss down low for ball 2. 2-0 the count on DeLuca. Right-hander McSweeney working out of the windup. He winds, and here's the 2-0. Fouled straight back by DeLuca. Some good zip on that fastball by McSweeney. Count now 2 balls and a strike.
Really good pace, especially where Owen was coming in with a lot of off-speed stuff for 3 innings as well. To kind of have to rework your mind and ramp up for this.
DeLuca 1 for 10 to start his Y-D career. So next pitch is lined up the middle, and it'll get past the second baseman, Massey, and into center field for a base hit. The leadoff runner is on here for Y-D in the 8th inning. Just the 2nd hit of the summer and 11 at-bats for DeLuca. That's got to feel good. And now stepping to the plate is Brad Beasley, the left fielder.
Got a hold of that one, too. You could tell right from the swing. He was sitting on the fastball. Found a good spot in the infield and drove it.
So here steps Beasley out of Cal Poly. Saw on Sunday, has some good pop in that bat. Sweeney set, the right-hander fires the first pitch. That one is ripped out lively at third. A screamer, he knocks it down, fires a high throw over to first, but corralled by right for out number 1. Advancing to second is DeLuca, and Beasley could not have hit that ball any harder. He just hit it right at the Whitecaps defender and lively over at third.
Well, that was a heck of a play, even to just get an out on that, considering how it was hit at lively, an absolute tear. And he made a smart decision. He could tell that it was going to take a miracle to glove that perfectly. So he just knocked it down, gave him time to make the play.
Now here is Matthews. He strides to the plate with a runner in scoring position now. DeLuca, his teammate at Oregon, leading off of second. It's the first pitch on the way. That'll get past the catcher, Donovan, and scoot all the way to the backstop. Advancing to third is DeLuca, and now the go-ahead run just 90 feet away for Y-D. Problem that has plagued Matt Dyer at catcher so far here today. Now comes back and bites the Whitecaps. DeLuca advances to third. Matthews now a 1-0 count. McSweeney back in the windup, fires home the next pitch. A foul straight back by Matthews, and the count will even up at 1-1.
Matthews here has just got to get something to the outfield. It's not going to take a whole lot. DeLuca's got really, really good speed. And if he can just sit on something, loft it into the air, give it some hang time, Red Sox should be able to take this lead.
DeLuca, some good speed over there at third base. Sweeney now in a 1-1 count. There's the 1-1 on the way. A swing and a miss over the top of an off-speed pitch, and now Matthews behind. Ball and 2 strikes.
It's been all heat so far from McSweeney. That's really the first time that he's pulled the strings on a hitter.
Matthews so far this season, just 1 hit and 2 at-bats. 1 RBI. McSweeney will step off and go through the signs again with Donovan behind home plate. Sun almost completely behind the trees here at Stony Brook Field. Just some sun shining out in right field and on the right side of the infield. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off the mask and out of the batter's box of Donovan. Gets away from him, but Matthews will stay alive. A ball and 2 strikes. Outfielders playing a little bit more shallow with DeLuca over there at third. Matthews digs back in. A ball and 2 strikes on him. Sweeney will shake off. The catcher, Donovan, peeks over at third. He'll wind and fire home the 1-2. Bounce a curveball in there, low for a ball. 2-2 now the count.
And a great job by Donovan to block that as well, because that bounced pretty much on home plate, especially since we saw him just get past him. Nice job to save that run.
McSweeney keeping an eye over at DeLuca on third. Seen a couple suicide squeezes. That's not on his. Matthews will rip that one out into the right center field gap. Over his Bishop. He lays out and makes a spectacular diving catch. DeLuca will tag and score from third. A great play out in center field by Hunter Bishop, ranging way over to his left in the right center field gap. Completely extends, goes airborne, and squeezes it for out number 2. But Gabe Matthews gets the job done. He brings home his teammate, and Y-D is now in front 4-3.
It's the second time that Hunter Bishop has robbed a Y-D hitter of surely extra bases. This one doesn't hurt as badly, though, as the Sox hop back out in front.
In steps Luke Waddell, came in as a defensive replacement in the in the bottom half of the 7th inning. In place of Nick Quintana's first pitch from McSweeney will catch the outside edge for strike 1. Waddell in the left-handed batter's box awaits the 0-1. It will be low for a ball. 1-1 now the count. Waddell seen time at third, seen some time at short as well this season out of Georgia Tech. Sweeney winds, fires home the 1-1. That'll miss inside for ball 2, 2-1 the count. And now crowded infield. One of 7 infielders on the Y-D roster. Just stands at just 5'8", 175 pounds, as he'll foul that one straight back, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's appeared in all 7 games, now all 8 games for Y-D, 13 at-bats, scored 2 runs. He's got 2 hits as well, 2 RBIs. It's the wind and the 2-2 from McSweeney, fouled straight back again by Waddell. Can remain even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is a great job by the Red Sox here in a late inning of a tie ball game when you cough up a lead to really battle back, and I don't think there's a better way to put it than just scrape across a run. You get that leadoff single, little small ball, some sacrifices to bring them home.
This is a Y-D team that hadn't seen the lead a whole lot this past weekend, but has the lead right here. Here's the 2-2. We'll miss just outside for a ball, 3-2 the count. They're dropping a tough contest, 8-0 at Falmouth at Red Wilson Field. Red Sox traveled all the way to Katuitt just to get swept by the Kettleers. Now sit at 2-4-1. Third placed in the Eastern Division. So they will step back in. Here's the 3-2 offering. Fouled up and out of play again along the third base line. Count remained the same. Chatham atop the East Division at 4-2-1 with 9 points. Harwich second, 4-3. Y-D third, 2-4-1. Orleans at 4th at 2-4, and then Brewster right behind them at 2-4. Out west, Wareham sits in front, 5-2 record on the early season. Katuitt second at 4-3. Hyannis third at 4-2. McSweeney winds. Here's the 3-2 again. Fouled up and out of play again. Good battle by Waddell and McSweeney. Count will remain full. Bourne sits at 4th at 3-4, and following them up is Falmouth at 2-4. Red Sox will travel to Falmouth tomorrow. Next pitch is fouled up and out down the third base line towards the Brewster dugout. It'll get out of play again. Some great protection hacks from Luke Waddell. Pitch number 10 coming up in this at-bat against Waddell. McSweeney shakes off his catcher, Donovan. Gets his sign out of the windup. Here's the 3-2. That'll bounce low for ball 4. Great at-bat by Luke Waddell, fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch, and will reach with 2 outs.
Especially now, because consider there's no lights here at Stony Brook Field. The longer that this one goes, especially with Y-D in the lead, it favors them in case this one has to be called due to darkness. That, of course, a little ways away, but still a great job from Waddell to prolong the inning.
Here's Christian Kost, the second baseman. Reached on an infield single his last time up. It's the line in the next pitch. That one is grounded up the middle, but over is Eden at shortstop. He'll touch the bag at second for out number 3, but not before Gabe Matthews brings home Johnny DeLuca to give Y-D the lead. They lead 4-3 headed to the bottom half of the 8th inning. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Red Sox lead 4-3 headed in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Top of the order due up for the Whitecaps. Lively, Massey, and Grams. They'll face the lefty Tristan Baker. Last time we saw him in Harwich was unhittable. 4 innings. He'll wind and throw home the first pitch. Lively will push a bunt attempt at that and swing or bunt right through it for strike 1. Then we saw Baker versus Harwich. 4 innings, no runs, no hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Baker will catch Lively on the hip, and he will reach first on the hit by pitch. Not how Baker wanted to start out this outing.
Really, really not how you want to, especially after you just take the lead in the visiting half of the frame to put someone on base, especially so easily like that. And it's just a tough way to begin.
He was more than dominant last time. I don't know any other adjectives to describe his performance. In steps Massey, the second baseman for Brewster. Baker working now out of the stretch. Here's the first pitch. He will show bunt and pull back for ball 1. 1-0 the count on Massey. Brewster just trying to manufacture a run here and try and tie it up. Saw them do that successfully in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Baker set on the rubber on the first base side. He winds and will throw over to first. Lively dives back in plenty of time. Count will stay a ball and no strikes. Martinez at short, now shaded somewhat up the middle. Playing in is Waddell at third, right on the grass. Next pitch will miss high and away for ball 2. 2-0 the count. We saw last time Baker pitch was strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, but struggling with his control a little bit here. Sun almost completely behind the trees here at Stony Brook Field. Now the only sun is out in right field as that one is fisted out into shallow left field. Coming in is the left fielder Beasley. He can't get it. Actually, that's Quinn Cotton now out in left field. Runs in, cannot get it. And 2 quick base runners for the Whitecaps.
Some defensive changes to announce here in the 8th. Cotton over in left now. Ashford will travel over to right field. You can swap out Kerner doing the catching duties now for Matt Dyer as well.
And Johnny DeLuca out in center field. Kerner taking over for Matt Dyer, who is really struggling at his spot behind the plate today, keeping pitches in front of him. Kerner out of San Diego will take over for him, and now Streps Graham's the DH. Baker will throw back to second. Martinez there to catch it, but no play on the runner out there and Lively. Baker peeking back at the runner. Lively still standing out there on second base. He comes set, gets a sign from Kerner. He will step off and look the runner Lively back to the base again. Very careful, Lively just 180 feet away from tying this game up. Baker allowed the first two Whitecaps to reach here in the eighth. He comes set, peeks back at the runner Lively. Here's the first pitch. That'll miss high and outside for ball one. Actually, that'll catch the zone. Marked as a strike out on the scoreboard in left center field. The count 0-1 on Graham's. Baker staring in at his catcher in Kerner. He gets a sign, comes set. Here's the 0-1. An off-speed pitch will miss away, even up the count at a ball and a strike. Still playing even with the bag is Waddell at third. Same with Dashbach over at first. Baker comes set again. Here's the wind and the next pitch. Swing and a miss. A late swing and a miss there by Grams. And Baker has worked himself ahead. It's now a ball and two strikes. Baker a strike away from getting the first out here in the bottom of the eighth inning. It's the wind in the 1-2. That one is broken back, grounded out to Martinez at short, flipped to second for one. No return throw. Koss fielding the ball over there at second. Slid into by Massey, running hard from first with a slide into the second base bag. Looked like it caught Koss right in the ankle. He was limping a little bit. He's got his shoe off. Or stretch out that ankle.
Just really no reason to be doing that at any point, let alone regular season summer game. Leave your spikes up, trying to prevent that double play. I don't think Koss was even going to attempt to throw, whether or not that cleat came in on him. There's great speed down the line from Gramis, and it was going to be runners at the corners no matter what.
Yeah, Koss would look like he was going to pump fake to first and then look the runner back to third in Lively. Try and catch him sleeping, but having Koss do some exercises out there behind second base. Looks like he'll be all right. The trainers for Y-D will now walk back off the... Actually, it looks like they're going to walk off with Koss. It looked like he was jogging around all right behind the second base bag. But it looks like he's now going to leave. And Jimmy Govern out of the Red Sox dugout. He will take over for Koss at second. It's really unfortunate.
Just no reason to stress anything or take a risk, especially considering that, A, it's summer ball, B, a regular season game, and also late in the game. And when you've got a second baseman that you trust like Govern, did it look like Koss was moving around okay, and I'm sure he'll be fine in the coming days, but don't want to risk stressing anything a little bit more.
So meeting on the mound, Scott Pickler out there to talk to all of his infielders. Now the tying run Lively standing 90 feet away from home plate. He reached the leadoff bat. He led off this inning, got plunked by a pitch by Tristan Baker. The second pitch of this frame. But Baker, a ground ball double play away from getting out of this inning. And he'll have to go through the cleanup hitter, Hunter Bishop. Bishop, a hard single back in the first inning off his teammate Alec Marsh, then lined out to Cotton in right field and popped a bunt back to Will Frank. Excuse me, popped it back to Braden Fink back in the 6th inning. First pitch will miss away for a ball 1. Bishop stands at 6'5", 225, but moves like he weighs a whole lot less. Patrolling a lot of ground out there in center as he'll pop the next pitch sky high behind the bag at third, drifting foul and out of play behind the Whitecaps dugout.
It's unfortunate because you induce that pop-up, especially against a dangerous hitter here in Bishop, who's made some great contact. You think maybe you have a chance at a quick out just past the dugout, though.
Bishop just finishing up his sophomore campaign at Arizona State, was the co-MVP of the Cape Cod League Championship Series last season. Brewster taking home the 2017 title. Baker comes set on the mound. Here is the 1-1 on the way. It's fouled straight back, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes on Bishop. Finish up that 2018 season at Arizona State, just a .250 batting average, down from hitting .301 as a freshman. He has all of the talent in the world. It's the wind in the 1-2. That'll just miss off the inside corner at the knees. Baker, good job painting it right there, but just couldn't get the call. His brother Braden, it's a farmhand in the Seattle Mariners organization. Baker staring in at Kerner. Bishop will call for time and step out of the batter's box. Left-hander will put the bat on his left shoulder. Baker winds, and here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Just blows a fastball right by Bishop at the belt on the inside corner, and there's 2 down. That's a huge, huge strikeout for Tristan Baker.
That's a pretty impressive approach there to a hitter like Bishop, just going right after him with the fastball. A little bit of cut action on it as well. Now the Red Sox just 1 out away, getting out of a huge jam here in the 8th.
So here's Brandon Wolf. Has only recorded 1 official at-bat today. Struck out back in the 2nd. He just walked his last 2 times up. Right-hander will step to the plate. Baker winds and fires home the first pitch. That one is skied high and foul, out of play along the first base line. Way out near the parking lot behind. That runs down behind the first base line. Count now 0-1. Beautiful night here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Temperature hovering in the mid-60s. Not a cloud in sight. Matchup between these 2 Eastern Division foes. 2 teams which, on this field, represent the last 4 Cape Cod League championships. Baker set. Here's the 0-1. A fastball will catch the inside corner, and Baker's a strike away from getting out of it. No balls and 2 strikes on Wolf. Lively leading off of first. Gramis leading off of, Lively leading off of third. Gramis leading off of first. Here's the next pitch. Just misses off the outside corner. Y-D superfan Gary not agreeing with the home plate umpire on that call. Didn't miss by much. Baker's going to have to go right back at it. A ball and 2 strikes on Brandon Wolf, the right fielder for Brewster today. Baker is set. Here's the 1-2. Fouled straight back. And the count will stay the same at a ball and 2 strikes.
Gary hasn't liked a lot of the calls this afternoon.
Yeah, Gary very vocal.
He roots with his
Red
heart.
Sox.
He roots with his heart, though I think there's been a couple that I'd have to agree with him with.
One of the biggest fans here at Y-D. At every game, donning full Red Sox attire. Baker comes set. Here's the 1-2. That'll miss just outside and away with an off-speed pitch. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As mentioned, these teams represent the last 4 Cape Cod League titles. Brewster taking home the 2017 title. Meanwhile, Y-D, a three-peat, 2014, 15, and 16. Here's the 2-2. Just misses inside again. Count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. More jeers from the Y-D crowd here on the first base side. All in good heart, though. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom half of the 8th inning, Y-D a 4-3 lead. Runners on the corners for Brandon Wolf, the right fielder, just 0 for 1 today. Tristan Baker on the mound for Y-D. Here's the wind in the full count offering. That'll miss high above the letters and outside for ball 4. So a walk, the third base runner of this inning. And the bases will be now loaded for Christian Molfetta.
And a great job there from Wolf, even though some of those pitches were close. Laying off of it, get those bases loaded, and now a pinch runner coming in for the Whitecaps. Try and provide that go-ahead run. Put a little more speed on the base paths.
It'll be Gage Workman out of Arizona State. Now standing out there on second base. Pitch running for Gramis after he reached second. Bases packed full of Whitecaps. The tying run standing just 90 feet away at third base in Austin Lively. Tristan Baker trying to work out of this jam. Here's the first pitch. It'll miss inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Lively reached on a hit by pitch to start the game. To start this inning. Followed by a Massey single. And then a fielder's choice off of the bat of Gramis. Baker winds. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss down low for ball 2. 2-0 the count on Molfetta. And Kerner quickly out to have a word with Baker. Say, hey, we can't fall behind these hitters. There's nowhere to put him. Just a 1-run lead for Y-D. A run in the third, a run in the fourth, a run in the fifth, and a run in the eighth for the Red Sox. Meanwhile, for Brewster, 2 runs in the fifth and then 1 in the seventh. Threatening right here. Bases loaded, 2-0 the count. 2 outs. Tristan Baker winds, and here's the 2-0. That'll catch the inside corner for strike 1. 2-1 the count. Baker's going to need to be more aggressive right here. 2 balls and 1 strikes to Molfetta. Loves to use that fastball, though. He comes set. He winds. Here's the 2-1. I want to swung out and hit out into shallow left center field. Coming in is Cotton. He will dive on a slide and make the catch. Quinn Cotton coming in hard from left field in towards left center. Comes in on the slide and gets Tristan Baker out of the bases loaded jam. We head to the 9th inning. Red Sox in front of the Whitecaps by a score of 4-3. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top half of the 9th inning, Y-D in front by a score of 4-3 over the Brewster Whitecaps. Top of the order for Y-D, Zach Ashford, Quinn Cotton, and Andrew Dashbach due up for the Red Sox. New pitcher in for Brewster will be Chris Murphy at the University of San Diego. Lefty's first pitch to Ashford will miss the inside corner for a ball. 1-0 the count. Morgan McSweeney's night is done. Just an inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 run it was earned, a walk and no strikeouts. As Murphy stares in, winds, and here's the 1-0 offering. Ashford will show bunt, but pull back. Ball misses low for ball 2. 2-0 the count.
Second appearance on the summer for Murphy, pitching 2 days ago in a 10-1 thrashing of the Anglers, went an inning and a third, just giving up the 1 hit.
Here's the 2-0 for Murphy. Ashford dribbles that one up the first base line. Gobbling it up is right, and he will go to the bag for out number 1. He'll bring up Quinn Cotton to the plate. He has 2 hits on the day, an RBI single back in the 3rd, and then also singled back in the 7th. Murphy finishing up his sophomore season at the University of San Diego. 13 games, started all of them. 6-5 record, 4.21 ERA. Had 1 shutout to his name, 81 and a 3rd innings pitch. Struck out 91 across 37 walks. It's the first pitch to Cotton. That'll catch the inside corner. First strike, 0-1 the count.
Especially the situation we saw in the bottom of the 8th. Love for the Red Sox to even just get one more little bit of insurance here.
It's the wind in the 0-1. No miss down and away for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Andrew Dashbach, the first baseman, stands on deck. Andrew Martinez would be after him. Here's the wind in the next pitch. Fouled up and off the screen behind home plate by Cotton. Count now, a ball and 2 strikes. Murphy trying to shut down the Red Sox and head to the bottom half of the 9th inning, down just 1 run. Out of the windup, here's the 1-2. Swung on and hit out into deep left center field. Back is Bishop. He's near the warning track, near the wall, and he will run it down for out number 1. We've seen Hunter Bishop cover a lot of ground out there in center field today, and the Arizona State product showing off the wheels in center field. Now 2 down, and Andrew Dashbach strides to the plate.
Yeah, I don't know what you can really do if you're hitting anything to left center or right center. No matter how hard it's going to be hit, Bishop with the range is probably going to engulf it.
Here is Dashbach. Singled his last time up in the 7th. 1 for 4 on the day. Here winds, and the first pitch from Murphy fouled straight back by Dashbach. Count 0-1.
A little late on that swing.
Was about 10, 15 feet away from hitting a booming home run back in the 3rd inning. Would strike out in that at-bat. Murphy winds, and here's the 0-1. An off-speed pitch will catch the plate at the knees, and the count quickly 0-2 on Dashbach. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Y-D in front by a score of 4-3. Murphy gets his sign from Donovan. He winds, and here's the 0-2. Catches the inside corner. Dashbach not agreeing with that call. He was scooting out of the way, but nonetheless catches the plate for out number 3. We head to the 9th. Y-D in front, 4-3. We'll see if they can hold it down. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom half of the 9th inning, do or die time for the Whitecaps. They trail the Y-D Red Sox by a score of 4-3. Bottom third of the order due up for the Whitecaps. Cameron Eden, Chris Wright, and Joe Donovan. Shortstop Eden will stride to the plate first. struck out twice and flown out to then Ashford in center field. Now Johnny DeLuca out there. It's the wind in the first pitch from Tristan Baker, right back out on the rubber. He'll catch the inside corner for strike one. Sun completely behind the trees now. No sun shining down on the field. Pitch is fouled up along the first base line and out of play. Count now up, no balls and 2 strikes.
It was a great at-bat last time up for Eden in a tough spot. Trying to score that run from third, fell behind in the count 0-2. Drove something to the outfield.
Baker winds, here's the 0-2. Fouled straight back by Eden. He's had a tough time with fastballs today. Like I said, has struck out twice, also flown out to center. Chris Wright, the first baseman, stands on deck. Red Sox in front, 4-3. Here in the bottom of the ninth. Here's the wind in the 0-2 by Baker. So on ripped into center field for a base hit. Getting it is DeLuca, and he will throw it right back in, but reaching first base is Cameron Eden, his first hit on the evening, just turning on that fastball and lining it right back up the middle. Tying run on first for the Whitecaps.
Really good contact there from Eden. Couldn't have asked for a better start to the inning. Your manager, Jamie Shevchik, getting that first runner on.
So in steps Chris Wright. He singled his last time up. 1 for 3 on the day. It's one in the first pitch from Baker. He shows bunt, but pulls back. Baker throws that one across the plate anyway for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Waddell creeping all the way down the third base line, and now he's going to hang her out right at the lip of the grass.
Baker comes set, trying to protect that one-run Y-D lead. Here's the next pitch. He shows bunt, lines it right back to Baker. He'll go to second, and it's in time. They got the lead runner at second base. What a play off the mound by Tristan Baker, going off to his left. Had to spin and throw it to second base, but like Martinez there in plenty of time to snag that one, and an out number one for Y-D, a huge out number one to get the lead runner.
Yeah, that's exactly the outcome that you could have hoped for. You only want to make that play if you know you can get it. Baker had confidence that he had time.
That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Joe Donovan, the catcher. So look at a strike on the inside corner, a fastball from Baker. Runner now at first is Wright. Takes not too big of a lead over there. Here's the next pitch, fouled straight back again. The count now of no balls and 2 strikes.
So this has got to be something off the plate with speed from Baker. Try and get Donovan to chase it. He had a great count on Eden earlier on and then left one hanging right down the middle.
Baker comes set, gets a sign from Kerner. Here's the 0-2. There's that velocity outside, but it won't miss the plate. The count now a ball and 2 strikes. Baker might want to be careful with burying a ball in the dirt. We saw quite a few wild pitches and pass balls today from Y-D pitching. It's the wind in the 1-2. That one is lined out to past Waddell. A diving Waddell at third into left field. Cotton will grab it and get it back in, but a 1-out base hit for Joe Donovan, the 9-hole hitter, and that'll turn the lineup over and move the tying run into scoring position.
Exactly. When this inning begins, you're dealing with 7, 8, 9. You think maybe you have a chance to avoid some of the more dangerous hitters for Brewster. And now it's the top of the order.
So Lively will step in for his 5th plate appearance of the night. Led off the 8th inning, getting hit by a pitch, hit by Baker. Baker would get out of that inning unscathed. So Lively will step out. So we're going to have a pitch runner out there at second for Wright. It's going to be Aubrey Major. Out at second base. More speed on the base paths for the Whitecaps. Baker now 2 on, just 1 out. And the leadoff man Lively striding to the plate. Baker trying to get his sign from Kerner. Lively not in the batter's box yet. And will stride in, taps his bat twice on home plate. Baker winds and fires home the first pitch. A late swing and a miss by Lively. And the count 0-1. A good use of a fastball down and out of the strike zone. And Lively chasing that one. Baker quickly ahead. Runners take their leads off of second and first. Baker comes set again. It's the wind in the 0-1. That one is dribbled out to second base. Govern will boot it off his glove, and everyone will be safe. Govern took his eyes off the ball for a split second, and it just drops off the end of his glove right in front of him. And for the second straight inning, Tristan Baker has the bases loaded.
That's just an opportunity of Govern trying to do too much with the play. Picked his head up before he had it in his glove. Thought about maybe trying to turn two, though his only play was to first base. But now you can score a run with recording it out for the Whitecaps.
Infield, the corners are in for Y-D. The middle is playing back for the double play. Here's Mike Massey, the second baseman, his fifth plate appearance as well today. Baker set his first pitch. That'll catch the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. Singled his last time up in the 8th. 1 for 4 on the day. Baker trying to get out of a bases loaded jam for the second straight inning. He winds, and here's the 0-1. Fouled straight back and out of play, and the count now no balls and 2 strikes on Massey. Although a ground ball to one of his middle infielders might get him out of this ball game.
It's exactly what you're trying to do. Induce that ground ball, preferably to shorter second. See if you can end this game with 1 pitch.
Baker comes set. Runners take their leads. Here's the 0-2. So one that's lined to Martinez. A diving stop. Will flip it past Govern at second. Pull him off the bag and won't be able to catch it. Everyone will be safe. Another crucial error by the Y-D defense, and Brewster ties it up at 4 here in the 9th, and still bases loaded.
Really, really tough break for the Red Sox, and more importantly, Tristan Baker, who's induced back-to-back ground balls into his infield, but the middle guys have let him down.
So I think they're going to score that an infield single. That'll bring up Gage Workman, now batting in the cleanup spot for Connor Gramis. The switch hitter will hit from the right side. Baker set, winds. Here's the first pitch. A swing and a miss by Workman. Swung right over the top of an off-speed pitch. Baker ahead now 0-1.
And now you really need the double play. If you're Tristan Baker, a couple minutes ago, it would have been a nice way to end the ball game. With tie scoreline here, he needs to get the 2.
Baker set. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss again. Went right back to that off-speed pitch. And Baker quickly ahead now on Workman. No balls and 2 strikes. See if Baker tries to elevate a fastball right here. Likes to use that as a strikeout pitch. Perhaps get a ground ball up the middle. It's the wind in the 0-2. Just misses the inside corner with that fastball. Count now, 1 and 2 strikes on Workman. All tied up at 4 here at Stony Brook Field. The Whitecaps a run in here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Popped sky high down the first base line, but that will drift foul and out of play. Workman and Baker battling. The winning run for Brewster standing just 90 feet away at third base. That would be Joe Donovan out at third. Workman stands back in the batter's box. That resting on his shoulder. Baker gets a sign from Kerner, comes set. Here's the 1-2. Will just miss inside again. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Workman.
Baker's gotten ahead of a couple hitters here in this 9th inning, but he's lost both of them. Danger of doing that here again.
Nowhere to put Workman. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Here's the 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss for strike 3. A huge strikeout from Tristan Baker. Went right back to that off-speed pitch he got Workman swinging with twice. And there's now 2 down.
But look out who's coming to the plate. Hunter Bishop, a guy that we know can crank it. And he doesn't even have to do too much. Something into the outfield will wrap up this ball game.
So here steps Bishop to the plate. All 6'5", 225 of him from the left side. Arizona State product in his finishing up his sophomore season. Tristan Baker, bases loaded now, 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Baker challenging him at the top of the strike zone with that fastball. The count now, no balls and a strike.
I think Baker was looking to make this an 8-4 final with that swing.
Baker staring a hole into Adam Kerner, gets his sign. Here's the 0-1. Goes right back to the fastball. Bishop lays off, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Now for the Y-D defense, just got to, the ball's in play. Do everything you can to record that third out. Prevent the run from scoring. Donovan still leading off of third, just 90 feet from home plate. Here's the wind in the 1-1. Swung in lined right to Martinez at second. He will throw on over to Dashbach at first, and Baker, for the second straight inning, gets out of a bases-loaded jam. We are all still tied up here after 9 innings. We're going to see if Coach Scott Pickler and Brewster head coach Jamie Shevchuk decide to play another frame here. And the Brewster players are taking the field, and it looks like we will. We'll head to the top half of the 10th frame. All tied up at 4. You're listening to Y-D Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. So a decision has been made by the umpires. A tie will be had here today between the Red Sox and the Whitecaps by a score of 4-4. Brewster tying it up in the bottom half of the 9th inning off of Tristan Baker. And there will be no win or loss here today for these squads. Both teams will pick up a point in the standings and see how that shakes up. Y-D now, I guess you could say, improves to 2-4-2 on the season, while Brewster will improve their record to 2-4-1. Like I said, both teams picking up a point. For the Red Sox tomorrow, a date with the Falmouth Commodores at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. Look to snap this losing streak and get back on the right track. But for the Red Sox, 4 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. For the Whitecaps, 4 runs on 7 hits and 4 errors. And Dana, again, I know we talk about missed opportunities a lot, but it seemed like Y-D a couple times in this game had the chance to add on, put this game away, and just couldn't seem to do it.
Yeah, missed opportunities for sure, and not to make excuses, but sometimes it seemed like they were playing the Brewster Whitecaps and the officiating as well. So couple of really tough calls that just didn't go the way of Y-D, but these are games that hopefully towards the end of the season when you're gelled a little bit more, you can scrape across a couple more runs and really hammer down when you've got those opportunities late in a ball game. But tonight, hard fought, good pitching from both sides in some instances, a sloppy one in the field from Brewster. And, you know, especially when you see another team put up 4 errors, you'd like to think that you're coming away with a win, especially when you out-hit them. Not the case today. You just have to settle for the point.
A tough day for the Red Sox here at Stony Brook Field. One last time, the final here from Brewster. Red Sox and Whitecaps tie it at 4. For Dana Gray, I'm TJ Mathewson from Brewster saying so long and thanks for listening. We'll be on the air for the game Y-D versus Falmouth tomorrow. One last time from Stony Brook Field, we say so long.